Yeah, man. You
Asia,
don't
you're
know.
gonna look great. Don't worry. You're gonna look great, and your feet are gonna be comfy.
You see what Alex will lead you to slaughter.
No. I just want to see them. That's all. That's all.
I'll show y'all a different time.
Man, oh
Drop it in the
man.
group chat, Asia. You got time. It's all right.
Asia wild, man. Asia, that type of shit make you show your age, man.
You didn't even see him yet. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we could tell by the way you walk.
The way I walk, nigga. Ooh, I don't want to do that tonight.
Yeah, right.
Black man. Don't do that. The way I walk.
Yo. This might be risky. We in the building. Welcome. Another Wednesday. Mr. White, what's good?
Yo, what's good, man? Chilling.
Word. Gunny, what up, though?
What's going on, fam? All good?
Yeah. Chief, what's good? You on mute and you was late.
You disrespectful as shit. I'm winning. How you doing?
Me? How am I? I was early.
No one knows that I wasn't on time because you started and I was present. So the people viewing don't know that.
They knew I started late for a reason.
Why you airing out family business? I was here at 9 o'clock. I've been sitting here, so chill out.
Gunny was right, man. Niggas ain't shit. Isha, Isha was good.
What's up?
Ain't shit. Hey, ever since they complimented your hair, you refused to change the style.
No, this week I'm gonna change my hair. You know what? Do you see the freaking recession? We're gonna get every last wear out of this hair until I don't have anymore.
Yo, hey, Isha, if y'all keep listening to Asia and fall asleep while giving head, man, y'all gonna have to do this shit by yourself for a long time.
Saying that. I'm getting my lawsuit together right now. For like,
she been on her hot, steamy sex shit for the past couple episodes.
I said hot, nasty sex. I'm being real calm tonight. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
Her nose be hitting the screen by the time she done lying, man. Every single night. Alex.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
What's good? Fuck them niggas, Alex. Just say hi to me like usual. You know what I mean? Love, what's good?
What's up? I'm being in my soft, feminine, relaxed tease tonight. For real. I'm going to be real soft.
Oh, God. Don't start that shit.
I am. I'm being real relaxed. I already prayed before I came online. I'm good.
Okay, whatever you say. This shit don't even seem realistic. Q, what's good?
Going on? You already know what the fuck going on. You see what the fuck going on? Huh?
Word. When your next show?
I don't got any shows coming up, but I will be performing at the Blackity Black Awards on June 25th.
Word, that's too.
Sound like don't that qualify as a show?
No.
No? Why? What's the difference?
Because it's not gonna be me with other comedians on a comedic roster. It's just me being within their award ceremony.
I might be doing it too, Q. So boom, we in there together.
Word.
What happened?
I said I might be doing it too, so we in there together.
All right, bet. Shit.
What's up? That's what's up. This might be risky. We here. All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This might be risky. We're gonna explore why are we wasting so much time on people. But there's one thing I saw. It's been going on for a couple weeks. I feel like the climax today. I want to visit this real quick. Let me know. Are y'all getting any feedback?
No.
Straight? All right, cool. Let me share my screen. Guys heard about this?
No. Oh, yes. Travis Rudolph. Yes, I couldn't read that. Yes. Very familiar.
She is a terrible liar.
First. That's crazy. Please go shoot.
Isn't
his
it
shit up.
true that you were the first person to become?
And then the other text message, because they went off. In fact, she said, "Please go shoot his shit up." And then the other person she was texting said, "Such and such is a dead man walking. Travis is a dead man walking."
Physically violent with Travis and not the other way around?
No.
Not at all?
Something or show me something if I can't recall the exact steps of the moment.
Okay, so you were the first one to become physically violent with Travis, not the other way around. Answer, correct.
That's correct.
Remember that? Yep. So you smashed his iPhone not out of anger, but because you were hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't send my brothers to kill him.
You just sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
I didn't say shoot him.
You sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
Correct.
Let me tell you what the shit is.
When you're angry, you say things. I'm sure everyone in this courtroom has said something when you're. I'm trying to speak. If you want me to answer your question, you have to let me answer your question.
So if you were responsive to my question, I wouldn't have.
All right. Answer the question, please.
Okay. Can you repeat your question?
Question was shit. What does shit mean in the context of that text?
Anything but him.
Okay. So it could have been his brother.
No.
It could have been the house.
Nothing violent toward a person.
It could have been his mother's house, right?
I was upset and my adrenaline was running and I said something that I didn't mean. That's the bottom line of that. I didn't mean for my brothers to do any of that. That's why when my brother left the house, he did not have a firearm on him. People say things when they're upset that they don't mean all the time. But since the situation has happened, it obviously blew up 20 times more. But I didn't necessarily mean for anything to happen to Travis's family, his house, or anything. It was like my second home. I would not want anything to happen there.
All right. And he never raised a hand and touched you, did he not?
Yeah, he was raising his hand the whole time, like grabbing me, pushing me back. Yeah, the whole time.
Did he punch you?
No, he didn't punch me.
Did he slap you?
No, he didn't slap me.
Did he pick up any objects and hit you over the head with them?
No.
So,
Y'all see this, man? Did I hear about it?
Yeah, I saw in the verdict. I'm glad the verdict came back the way it did today.
Yes, he was not guilty.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, one boy got shot, one boy got killed. The altercation was the altercation. And she sent her brothers. They called their friends. They jumped him and his brother. And then he got loose from getting jumped, ran into the house, got his AR. And then he actually didn't shoot one of them that was standing next to his mom, even though he thought that dude brandished a gun at first. And then his brother was down the street still fighting two of them. And he ran down the street. And then some of the firing started. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 84 shots fired. A lot of shots, but one of the boys did actually get killed. But I just want to get y'all thoughts on this, man, because I think it leads into maybe one of the questions. But what do y'all think about this situation? So I pretty much share my sentiments in the scrolling question / comment.
I think she's a disgusting individual. I mean, that's just the long and short of my response about her. And I already said too that I'm happy that he was acquitted of the charges because they had him with some serious charges that were unwarranted, in my opinion. But this is the kind of female behavior that men talk about, and I can't stand it because they'll use her as the standard of saying, black women this and black women that negatively. But she's a disgusting example of a human being to do what she did, hit him like the way she did, and then have people come. Yeah.
Just to clarify, because this is the first I'm really hearing about the story. Yeah. So the individuals, her ex-boyfriend or whatever it was, one of his people shot one of her brothers, and he was the one that was acquitted.
No, I don't think it was her brother. It was one of the other guys that got shot and killed.
Right. But she called her brother and he brought his friends. So her boyfriend at the time, that's NFL player Travis, as you saw her punch him, beat him up, whatever, and then she was texting. So they had an argument, and then that's how.
Mind you, so she went through his phone. He had a text with some other girl. Mind you, she's married. Yeah, she's married. Doing all of that, punched him in his face. And then because he pushed her off, she said he tripped her and threw her down. You don't see that in that video. She called her brother and say, shoot his shit up. Like bullets got a name on them. Like you could put house on a bullet and it's only gonna hit the house. With his mom and his mom's house at that. And then you heard her testimony. And now mind you, they're trying Travis. She's not on trial. The brothers aren't on trial. You know, but one boy is dead, one boy is in the hospital. So I just want to get y'all feedback on this.
I mean, I think we all come from a don't start no shit, won't be no shit culture. So they went over there looking for the smoke and they got the shit.
You think he was justified?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely justified. Absolutely.
Now, what do you think about the fact that he ran about I think it was like 50 feet or so because of where his brother was. But he didn't start shooting immediately, but his brother was down there.
No, he was going to defend. Go ahead, I'm sorry. No,
but then he shot up the car after.
They got him on. They got him on that part because they were in the car driving away. I think that's why they kind of got him the way they did, I think, because he went kind of shot after the car, from what I read.
Yeah, he said he stopped shooting until it wasn't he no longer perceived a threat.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But he said they brandished weapons, but he didn't shoot the boy who he thought initially had a weapon because I think he was standing close to his mom, maybe something like that.
Was this car driving at him or were they driving away?
Trying to get out of there. But he was acquitted today, though.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I think I didn't know the story though, but I think that's where he finds himself in some trouble shooting at a car driving away. But at the end of the day, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Don't come to my crib looking for the smoke. You're gonna get it.
And real quick with her too. Real quick about her. How you look? I didn't know she was married, but I always said this: if you look for something, you're gonna find it, and do not bring it to my face. You went looking for it, you found it. Don't you ask me about it. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Do not do that. Like she was looking for trouble, and she's married. She's disgusting. Okay, I'm done. I'm like on the rant. I'm being soft today.
See, my whole thing is this though. Like, as I look at her, I see the epitome of the female narcissist. Like this, it's mental health that normalized that we don't see a sick person. Like we don't understand when people are sick when we see that shit. Like none of that is normal to me.
No, I think we give them a out when we keep calling people sick.
She looked like she didn't take anything serious though. Like I felt like she was being sarcastic and she was being smart. And I think because, yeah, I may have done this, I may have done that, but in her mind it may have been, well, I didn't pull the trigger. And then there are people who know that when you say some shit to your family members or whoever it is, they're gonna come. They're not gonna play about you. So she knew what she was doing. So for you to be like, shoot this shit up, you know who you sent that message to, and you know they were gonna come and defend you by any means necessary. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in their favor.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't know all those details about the story.
And I think that lends to the bigger issue too. I don't know what questions you're going to ask after this, but yeah, she had that behavior because she knew that she was going to get a certain outcome. So that lends to the bigger issue, as far as with women, do they feel like they have an extra leg up, in the eyes of the law when it comes to these types of things? And, I'm definitely glad that the brother got off, but he had to have so much evidence and so much stuff on his side. If he was missing one or two things, he would have been locked up for life. So, I don't want to jump ahead of what your question is, but I'm pretty sure that you're gonna allude to that.
No, yeah, I was thinking so, but I'm not quite sure if I wanted to allude to women kind of having an advantage and maybe not being held accountable in the same ways, especially in the courts. Because I don't know if that necessarily aligns with the tagline, but I think that's certainly a topic that we can address.
Okay.
was about to, now, one thing I think that was on his side, he's in Florida though.
I was just about to say that stand your ground stuff. I was about to ask about that.
Mm-hmm. So I think the ill part is, and I want to make sure Q can finish her thoughts. I feel like if he would have came out the house shooting, there wouldn't have been no discrepancy. I think it would have been stand your ground, especially how the guy knocked and with the text messages, because he chased them after they fled, kind of, where they weren't an immediate threat to him, but they were a threat to his brother because his brother was still fighting. And then what's crazy is one of the boys ran off after, like right when he had his gun down there, and his brother chased the other dude. So he called his brother a lunatic. He like, why are you? His brother went outside by himself before he even got outside with the gun, and then chased the dude once his brother came with the gun. You know, he called his brother a lunatic on the stand, actually. You know, but Q, were you finished? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say to Gunny, when you speak about the law being in women's favor and them understanding that, so like, where did you assess that with this particular woman in this situation?
Just based on her demeanor, just like Alex alluded to it, like, you know, to like how she was just so nonchalant on the stand. And, you know, of course I can't give you any definitive answer why she did that, but I can only assume that she did that because she just assumed that because she was a woman that she'd be able to just spout out nonsense and people were just going to believe her. I mean, the questions were so direct and her answers were so absurd. That's how I came to that conclusion.
Yeah, see, that's the part where I think that's giving her almost too much credit. Like, it's almost like what she did was no. Do you think that that's normal behavior of most women then? Because I think she's a sick bitch. I think something's wrong with her. And to that
I do.
point,
No.
narcissistic behavior disorder does not get diagnosed from what I understand, because the narcissist themselves has to see themselves in that light in order to even get treated for it. So
Yes,
it's not.
I don't think that that's most women. No, I don't. And I do believe that she is sick. She is. But as far as just the general public, there's a general knowledge. Let's say, for instance, you have a domestic violence issue or whatever in your house, and the woman calls the police. The woman pretty much assumes that the guy, if he's there, then he's going to be the one that's looked at by the police. And that's just general knowledge across all races. So based on the culture that we live in, it's just common knowledge that people are going to believe women over men. That's the society that we live in. And that's what I saw on the stand based on her behavior. But yeah, she's definitely a sick person. She's not like normal women. No, absolutely not.
And I'm basing that on the level of her lying, not like, to your point, yeah, is it normal for a woman to think that if they call the cops, the law is going to be on their side? But it's the line and the way that she did it for me that is what I'm looking at.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think that we're kind of saying the same thing. I just think all those things are, you know, all those things are part of it.
Well, I think Gunny's being a little nice. I think women do have unrealistic expectation about shit being unfair in their favor because men haven't been taught to protect themselves against women. It's okay for a girl to hit you. You can't hit her back. She can yell in your face and do all this, that, and the third, and you got to take it. Yeah, I mean, the Me Too movement and believe all women, those are real. So I don't know. I think there is some type of subtle expectation, and I think it might be an underlying current in all women.
And we all know that, and no one on this panel and no one watching this show can deny it. That's an absolute fact. No one can deny that. That's
Gunny,
the truth.
Okay, so Gunny said, "I stop being nice. You stop being nice."
That's the truth, though. That's the world that we live in. Believe all women, regardless.
What you think? Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Q. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think there are some changes being made, right? Like, there are some women who are understanding now that if you do too much, you might get washed by a nigga, and that's between you and him. I don't think everybody's ready to jump in that shit, and not everybody sees it. Like I think there was a time where, like, yeah, that whole girl power shit and all that, but now it's like you really see people doing too fucking much. And I think what created that move was a lot of women in our generation becoming boy moms, where it's like you displace yourself and you're like, oh, that was my son, and you was acting like that.
That might
Do
be
you
fair.
think we're there now, or we're moving towards that point?
No, I think we're there now. I
Okay.
think you delusional bitches that's have that narcissism shit in them. And then I think that there's women who understand. You put your hands on this man, you're doing too fucking much. If he slap you, that's on you.
Mm.
Yeah, and I would disagree with that. I would say that in our current society, men are guilty until proven innocent, and women are innocent until proven guilty. So,
Isha, you want to get in on this?
He should hit niggas. What you talking about?
No, I know. I believe that, if a woman hits a man, he got the right to hit her back. I do believe that. But in this case, I think that this woman needs to be charged for the death of that person because she's the one who set it all in motion. I also think that even with him shooting after them until they drove away, that was needed because now they know where he lives at. Now they make it unsafe for him to go home every night, not knowing if they're going to come back and retaliate. So I think what he did was justified, and I think that there needs to be charges pressed against her.
Someone in the comments said that the dude who was killed was shot through the windshield, so that's led to believe that they could have been coming at him. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, maybe, but he was dumping that thing though. Like he was letting them niggas have it, man. But yeah, I think she should receive a conspiracy charge for murder or assault or something. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Accessory or something.
Yeah. What say you, Mr. White? You want to get in on this?
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with what Isha was saying. I think in a situation like that, even if they leaving, your adrenaline's still going, right? And like I was saying, like that's his mom crib. So you know how most of us feel about our moms. Like we gotta eliminate the threat, period. I definitely agree. I'm not even big on everybody being sick and mental health diagnosis or not. Your ass need to go to jail. You need to deal with those consequences. That's why it's a good thing we do have laws and things like that, and they do need to be applied across the board. And then just in terms of women, I really think that because they're not raised to be accountable in some situations, they don't even think that far ahead, especially when they're angry, right? So she's like, oh, she's mad, yo, go shoot this nigga shit up. She's not thinking, okay, I'm putting my brother in danger now, you know what I'm saying? To him possibly getting killed or possibly being arrested or, going to prison, all of these consequences for him, she can't even see outside of her feelings. And I think a lot of that is because of the way that we are raised and how typically they don't experience consequences. They are so, protected. I agree with Q slightly. I feel like it is getting better, but I don't think we are like nowhere near close.
Yeah, I think you see it with you ever see some of the gym influencers? Like men don't be helping them. Like one lady, the barbell fell on her chest. The motherfucker was not going over there to take that shit off. Like, you know what I mean? Because ain't no telling what happens when you go over there. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I saw this clip where an old white guy, he fell in the middle of the street. It's raining and all that. He fell off his cane and shit. But I don't know if I would go out there. I'd probably like call the police. If I go out there, I'm standing over this old white man, and the police pull up, right? He slipped. He don't know why he slipped. He come to. It's a big black dude standing over him. Oh, he pushed me down. Hell nah. I'm calling the police, bro. It ain't worth it.
I mean, they probably give you some slack if you got that merce on.
Yeah, I hate the fact that I set trends, man. Somebody had to do it. Damn, man. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I just wanted to hit that because I wanted to make sure we was all on the same page about how disgusting that was. How she was on the stand, how she did not give a shit. I think Q is 100% correct in the fact that she's a narcissist, but I don't think it's a disorder. I think it's her and how she was raised. And she think her shit don't stink, and she needs somebody to push her shit back like that. I mean, I ain't gonna go too far with it, but you catch my drift. Chief.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I'm just asking, man. I just want to get your insight on this. See what you would do. All right. So You meet this girl, right?
Uh-huh.
You dating her for like a year.
Okay.
Okay. Your man come home, right? He was locked up.
Uh-huh.
He been locked up for 2 years.
Okay.
Right. So he see you with shorty. He don't say shit. She don't see him. So boom, you like, oh yeah, that's my shorty. I told her we about to go get a drink. He like, yo, bro, you remember the chick I was telling you about that she used to give me that Gawk 3000? That's her. But you've been rocking with her for a year. I'm just asking. Are you staying?
Yeah, if I'm a year in, she probably my lady. We gonna hold on tight. She got a history, bro.
Word?
Yeah.
So remember, because this the girl, he like, yo, bro, every time I go to Hartford, this girl spin my top. I don't know which way is up. Yeah.
Your pride's not gonna let you stay, Chief.
Yeah,
Nah.
I probably gotta. Yes, I want it because a year in is a lot for me. Like if I'm a year in, I'm vested. You know what I'm saying? A year in, you're not like casually dating after a year. That's my lady.
Y'all on some Huggy Bear shit.
That's my lady at that point. We might have to have a sit down. It still might end up me leaving, but we gotta talk about it. I can't.
Come on, man.
Yo, man, I'm a year. Listen. As it pertains to me, I've been single for a while now. So the next girl that makes my girl is probably gonna be my wife. So if I'm a year in, bro, that's gonna pull on my heart a little bit. I can't front. I'm being honest. I can't front. It's gonna pull on me. Now you say 6 months, I'm probably gonna slide, but a year I'm in it, man.
What? Well, okay, I ain't gonna make you say what you gonna definitively, but what are you probably gonna do?
If he's coming at me like you saying, like he disrespectful with, I'm probably gonna slide.
No. So back when he was outside, he wasn't locked up. You know, we talk like, yo,
yeah, that's
bro,
what I'm saying. If he coming at me like that, like she was out here crazy with it, you know what I'm saying? I had.
No, but he telling you that before he got knocked. Then he came home and he like, yo, remember the girl I used to tell you about? Yeah, that's her right there.
You put a lot of pressure on me, bro. I think, oh man.
Would you ever have not known that?
There's a lot of parameters here. Do I know this nigga or do I know this nigga? Like, is that my man's? Nah, I gotta slide. I gotta slide.
Yo, that high EQ went to waste, didn't it?
Nah, if this is my dude, I gotta slide. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, but
yo, fuck that, bro.
I hope that sounds right now. Wow.
I gotta slide.
Why?
He put the pressure on me, love. You know what I'm saying? He put the pressure on me. I gotta slide. I can't.
Yo, hey Chief, I don't blame you, bro.
Nah, because then you and Mr. White in the corner talking to my man, like, yeah, Chief decided to stay with her. We can't do that.
You can't hang out with your man no more.
Nah.
Every time you look at her, he called, yo, what you doing? Nothing, nigga. Nothing.
She ain't here.
And then you try to act like it don't matter. Then you try to have him over. And she like, babe, I love hot dogs. He like,
nah. See, that's why. Nah, it's over for her and him. We can't even be friends no more. Oh my God.
Damn, man. All right, so Chief, I appreciate you answering the question, man. And for all who are on the fence, Chief's answer is 100% the correct answer.
Yo, he really took too long to answer it. I'm like,
wait, man. Listen, I'll be trying to apply the EQ with me. You know what I'm saying? We grown now. Everybody got a pass, but if money talking about
with the mulatto
jokes, I can't
think about it when y'all arguing and when y'all beefing. You gonna be thinking about it, you know? Nah.
It's over, bro.
Yeah, word.
You can't do that shit, man.
But
Hell
what's
no.
the stipulation? You said 1 year. What if it was 5 years?
No, that's not a better. That's a worse. It's better for 1 year because you have more wiggle. Like 5 years, I mean, shit, that's a long ass time.
So basically, you pose the question for it to be a no.
Yeah, like you
No,
always.
you pose the question for you have to tangibly answer it, right? Because if I say, because see, you try to spin it, right, but you fucked up. Because if I said 1 month, right, that's unrealistic. But if you're talking about 10 fucking years with somebody, it's a non-answer.
Wait.
You got upset because you didn't want to answer my question, so I flipped it off.
Nah, you tried to, but you ain't as smart as me.
asked the question.
You been having a lot of issue trying to be as smart as me, but we ain't the same.
Hey, if I was with him for 5 years and he told me this shit 2 years ago, that's what you say? That shit still count?
So would you leave? I mean, I want to know. Like, so the year is that's a real question. Like, so what's the threshold? 2 years?
First off, it's I'm just asking. See, I come up with brilliant shit, and then y'all want to try to break my shit down and spin it. Y'all could have put it in the chat, but you didn't. God damn it. We'll ask the 5-year question next time. So since Q she can ask it. Fuck it. Like, yeah, it ain't as much fun in 5 years.
So flip it, love. Let's flip it on you. Flip it.
Oh shit.
Same question. Reverse roles.
I don't know.
You staying or you leaving? Your girl, like, he used to come over, eat the box every Sunday.
Hell no. I couldn't do it. You're right. I mean, like, because I know me. You're right. Listen, I was being a hypocrite. I didn't say I had a high EQ, did I? Listen, I would be so mad. Ooh, I'd be so mad. My imagination would get away with me. That's one of my problems. My imagination would go there like, he ate her box like this.
Hey, love.
Like
Every time he slurp or get the end of his straw soda, imagine that shit. You be like, niggas.
I couldn't do it. I know my limitations. Heck no.
But Q spin on it. It does change it a bit. But I feel like there's a time where, but you know what? Go ahead.
If it was 5 years, I would stay.
I don't know.
Whatever. Get another nigga. Whatever.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it after it. No. And she sat there and talked about how good it was and what he was flipping her around. And
well, would you have wanted to know?
Where's it out?
Like, would you have wanted to know? Like, let's just say your man didn't say nothing, your girls didn't say nothing, whatever. Would you have wanted to know?
Yeah. Because then you got these niggas laughing at you. You know what I mean? These niggas. Every time you get to the cookout, they side eyeing each other and shit. Like, do we know? Did you tell them? Like, nah, we're not doing that.
I didn't want to know.
We're not doing that.
So then, realistically, 5 years doesn't change shit because it's about integrity.
Right? What you mean?
So he's like talking about niggas will be clowning this, that, and that. So it has nothing to do with 1 year. It's just the integrity. Like, you don't want to be clowned by your people.
No, I think the time matters. I think it matters, Q.
But it's still the same substance, same chick, same situation.
Yeah, but again, the level of investment in 5 years, though, Q.
She still like hot dogs. Like 5 years later, she still like hot dogs.
But I'm saying, so now he invite her over and she still like hot dogs. That 5 years matters because it's 5 years versus the one.
You're gonna be looking at interactions different. Like, now we're not hanging out, we're not doing no couples, nothing. No, none of that.
Can't do none of that. Chief, you answer right. Fuck her. She gotta go. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Man, that shit burn. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. So that kind of leads into this next question. I did want to make it gender specific, but I tried it to not to. But I don't know if it hits the same, but we'll see. So, are people wasting too much time in relationships? Example, not divorcing, expecting traditionalism from modern women, expecting men to not cheat, shit like that. See, I told you I should have made it gender specific. I can't think that wide.
It's not about making it gender specific, but you say, if we're looking at time and when to leave, what does that have to do with modern women and traditionalism? I'm just trying to put it together.
You're right. I'm trying to acquiesce to y'all. Let me just ask a question I want to ask. Hold on. Are men wasting too much time in relationships? Because we don't divorce. We want all these things from women who don't want to give it. We end up in sexless marriages and yada yada yada. Like, do we need to like switch it up, or are we doing the right thing by staying when we're not happy? Because I know we don't put happiness at the top of our totem pole a lot of the time. Go ahead, Gunny.
Yeah, no, I think that we are doing the right thing by staying when we're not happy because, we're in the leadership position. So that comes with leadership. Our roles are different between men and women. So, as far as the patience aspect of it, I think that men have more to lose than women do. Because ultimately, when we go into the relationship, we're the leaders. We're the ones that should be out there in front. So we hold the ultimate responsibility for the family breaking apart. So we have to exercise more caution and more patience with keeping the family unit together. So,
but has it been effective?
I don't know, man. I can't really answer that because I could answer that with personal experience. I could answer that with statistics. I can't answer it. I'm gonna have to pass that to somebody else.
Let me ask you a question, Gunny. Has it been effective?
For myself personally?
I just want an answer. You never not answer a day in your life. Now all of a sudden you got tongue tied.
No, it is. It's a difficult question, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's a difficult question.
Give it to the stats then.
Was that?
All right, use the general statistics.
Has it been effective? No, it hasn't been effective. It hasn't been, because no matter how much we try to hold the family unit together, we're not the sole contributors to keeping the relationship intact. The woman, she has to say so too. So statistically, we can look at it, the facts, and say that women divorce us more. So no matter how much we want to keep the marriages together and keep it running, ultimately we don't have the say so in it. So has it been effective in general across all race spectrums? The answer is absolutely not. It hasn't been.
Yeah. Read the super chat for me, Gunny.
Mike Brown, $2 super chat, going to the Liz. That happens every homecoming.
So what happens is, just for clarity, if you just chime in and shout out to y'all, a girl that we used to know bring her boy to the Elizabeth City, and we tapping each other. Yo, this nigga wilding. You know what I mean? So that would have been P if he listened to Asia, even though she wasn't telling the truth. So that's crazy.
Talking about. Well, since you called on me,
I didn't call on you. I didn't call on you at all.
I heard my name.
A little bit, not a little bit. I was actually going to Keith. I just used you as an example of being hypocritical.
I heard my name.
Trust me. Don't you worry. I didn't call on you. We don't.
I actually agree with Gunny, but go ahead, go to Chief.
All right. Well, yeah, you can agree with him. Chief.
She agreed.
Chief.
It's a full moon out there.
Hey, Gunny, she just was being hypocritical on the last one. Don't believe it, because when she get on, ain't no what she's gonna say. Chief.
Yes, sir.
So it hasn't been effective, and we've been trying. Should we do something different?
That's a tough question to answer, because I feel like we have to give it our most valiant effort. You know what I'm saying? In order to make it work. But what happens is, when we don't leave when we should have left, we end up in a resentful place. And then the onus starts to become on us, because we're not doing the things we were supposed to be doing. We're not following through. We're not treating like we were before. So now she leaves because of all the things that we're supposedly not doing, but it started because of what she wasn't doing, or whatever our reasoning was for us to leave in the first place that we didn't. Am I making sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like fool me twice, shame on you, right? Or shame on me.
Yeah. So that's kind of what's happening. So we didn't leave when we were supposed to. and now we're resentful and we're holding back and not doing some of the things we're doing. And now she's like, you ain't doing this, that, and the third. But like I told you, you wasn't doing your part, and all of a sudden you want to leave me and take half my shit.
Do you think they know that men aren't trying to leave? You think women know that?
Yeah.
So, Mr. White, are they using that to their advantage?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't think they feel like the man. I don't think they're thinking about that. Like, oh, I can just do whatever and they won't leave. I think the majority of the time they really are not even looking outside of themselves, right? So they just see themselves as being unhappy, unappreciated, things like that. I do think us staying. I don't think us starting to leave will be. I think that would just make things worse because then you'll just have the destruction of the family a lot sooner. I think what we need to change is how we stay, right? So can we still stay and still show love towards our wife, right? Not working on the marriage is not convincing them or begging them to stay. It's okay, you want to. It's not my desire, but if you want to go, okay, cool. But I'm still going to check in on you. I'm still going to make sure you have, the things that you need. But don't fight for nobody to stay with you. I think if men approached it that way, even if the woman did leave, she would ultimately come back. Because a lot of times with divorces, after the fact, women always end up regretting it and always want to finally come back too. So I think if we did that a lot sooner, let them go, families probably would reconcile at a higher clip. But that's only if too much damage is not done, before then. So
let them go and do what?
Whatever it is they need to do, control it, right? You can't control what they do. And when we try to control it, that's where the resentment and stuff builds, right? So it's like when you sign up to be a husband, you don't say you're going to do all of these things if she does X, Y, and Z. So just because she is not, that don't mean you should stop doing what you're supposed to do.
But do men ever stop paying the bills?
Absolutely. When she leaves, yeah.
You saying that? What do you mean?
No, what I'm saying is just because we don't stop paying the bills doesn't mean that they're going to operate and move like we do, right? But like if you say, okay, should men start leaving sooner? That's like us stepping down and doing what they do. So how is that going to be effective?
Do you think that men should? Well, do you think that? At what point do men start protecting themselves, though?
It would depend. Protect yourself how? Like, give me an example. So, like, once you're in a marriage, it's no way you really can protect yourself outside of just paying attention, being attentive to what's going on, so that you could try to identify things sooner than later, right?
So you don't think the person that initiates something has upper hand, especially in the courts?
The person, so like you're saying, if the man was to initiate the divorce, he would have the upper hand.
Well, yeah, because he's initiating, he's starting it. Well, also, just like they said, I think Q said it. But whomever in like family court, whoever initiates child support, child custody, often has the upper hand in that situation. Q, if you didn't say it, my bad. I just felt like somebody said it up here, but I think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Right, but again, I think once you're married, we don't need to start moving like that, because what you're doing is you're trying to prepare for failure. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a bad way to go. It's one of those things that, like, once you open the door for it, so many men would just kind of run to do it, right? So I definitely think there are situations to where, yo, bro, she's clearly checked all the way out. She is out to, destroy you, especially if you married the wrong person. But I don't think that needs to be, like, that's applicable to the majority of those situations. Because once you marry, I feel like if you're the man and you initiate the divorce or whatever, she's still going to be more likely to get the kids unless she's an unfit mother, and that you can prove that. So it don't matter who initiated.
Can you read this super chat for me?
Adrian, when a woman makes up her mind to leave, she's done. She's mentally left a long time ago. She's not coming back. That's not true. You know how many women I done messed over who still trying to come back?
Married women. Sinead with the $5 super chat. We appreciate you, Sinead. I don't know.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, the issue is in how we wait. When I talk to, there's a lot of women who, after the fact, and they're not going to tell a lot of people this, right? But I know it from just women that I work with. A lot of times, once they leave the man, and it was a good man, you know what I'm saying? They always will regret it, because we always think the grass is greener. A lot of people always think the grass is greener on the other side, right? Like, I'm sure some people on this panel, hopefully they will be honest and they would say, yo, I left a situation that if I could go back, I wish I would have stayed. I think a lot of women end up coming to that realization. Of course,
I don't know. I just don't know if regret means they want to go back. I don't know if those two are mutually exclusive.
Well, it's because they typically don't have the option to. Right. But what I'm saying is, if it happens soon, and a lot of times women stay because the man, yo, you don't need to leave, and I feel like in those situations, if the man just lets her know, hey, I don't want you to go, and she goes, she'll come back. She'll come back. That's what I believe. I feel.
Oh my God.
It happens all the time.
Go ahead, Q, please.
I love doing this. We ain't did this in a long time, but y'all fuck everything Adrian talking. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm trying to process it, and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because we just watched this psychotic bitch on this stand, and most of what is said on this panel by the men is that what y'all looking for is not out here. But you're saying if a guy finds that and he marries that, which is non-existent, and she leaves, she's going to regret it and come back?
So first I said, she was already married to somebody else, right? So that's different. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, typically, because typically the argument that women bring forth is, oh, the nigga was just doing me bad. So I'm talking about in a situation when you have a good man, right? Yeah, he may have cheated, but a good man, right? He's not beating you or nothing like that. When you have a good man and a woman leaves, she will come back if you do what you're supposed to do as a man. I feel like in most cases.
I think that's cap. I think that's pure cap. I think because if a woman's divorcing you to begin, I mean, you're talking about a marriage, not like a relationship. Not a 6 month or a 1 year because you found out she got the good head or whatever. Not that type of shit. I'm talking about like a marriage. If a woman's leaving a marriage, I think she pretty much sat with that for some time. Now, to your point, if it was a guy, it might be different. Because I don't know why guys would leave a marriage. He might regret it and feel like he need to go back. But I don't see leave like that.
Let me ask you this. Well, not you. Asia, you said no. Isha, I know you're divorced. Afterwards, did you ever think like, dang, I wish I could make it work, or would want to give it another shot? Like, was there ever an opportunity for it?
I think at the end when we were going through counseling and stuff, I think I wanted to work it out. But after I got divorced, I was pretty sure that was the best thing.
Yeah, exactly. Once we got there, I thank God even to this day, like I got divorced, honestly, because it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy.
But I wouldn't
go back.
But I will say this, that I've thought about, like, damn, I could be comfortable in this economy if I was still married. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's ever been about him. It's more so about me and my stability.
Yo, real quick, Isha, love. I mean, little side off topic, but if is the saying "if I knew then what I know now" applicable to those situations? Like, if you had the EQ that you have now, if the knowledge that you have now in terms of communication and working through different things, do you think it would have been different then? From your perspective, not nothing he did, but on your behalf.
Two things would have been different. I probably would have never married him because I would have realized that he wasn't the person who I needed, or the person who I can build my purpose with, or have a purpose with, or a foundation with. But I also know that, and I'm never going to just blame it on this man because he was a good guy. He just wasn't the guy for me. And I know that I came into the situation as Miss Independent. I can do this by myself if I needed to. So I know as a woman in my mouth, I cut him down. So I know there's some things that I've done to kind of contribute to the distance between us.
And I echo Isha's sentiment for the most part. So I should have never married him in the first place. I recognize that. So I take that on. Like, yeah, my EQ was then what it is now. It never would have happened. But also, I do take some accountability inside the marriage as well, because I didn't cut him down. I just shut down. And that's kind of just the word. Like, when I shut down, I literally shut down. I kind of said this a long time ago. There's nothing you can say. A brick wall is up. I don't care what happens after that. It's just done. Was that the best thing to do? No. But that's how I handled it. So that's why I take that on in that way. I wouldn't have handled it that way if I look back at 2020.
Alex, you want in on this?
I do think men waste too much time in relationships when it comes to marriages. It's always interesting to me when a divorce comes as a surprise to a man. Like, I didn't know that she wasn't happy or whatever the case was. There's always signs going on. And I think it's sad more than anything that men just feel like, okay, we're married. I have to stay in the situation and not be happy. And I think that's something that we don't talk about, right? Like, as a man, like, I have to work. I have to do all of these things. But are your needs being met, right? You are more, and we always say this, you all are more than just your paycheck. You all are more than just your physical attributes. But are your needs also being met? And I think it's unfortunate that men just feel like, you know what, I'm in it now. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Everything else doesn't matter. It falls on the back end. Adrian was saying something about who goes to the courthouse first. I think it's more powerful to me when a man decides to go ahead and sue. And when I hear that men are taking, or when I see situations where men are initiating the divorce, that to me says, okay, like, you decided to put yourself first. You knew, you had enough sense to be like, you know what, this isn't working out. I'm not happy anymore. Let's go ahead and move on. I think if more men initiated that, instead of just choosing to just be like, this is the way things are, I think things may go in a man's favor a little bit more than they do currently right now. Similar to when we talked about with the child support situation. Not enough men go ahead and initiate it. Not enough men fight it because it's like, you know what? This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm giving up. She's the mom. She's supposed to have X, Y, and Z. This is just how it's going to be. So I do think men are wasting their time in relationships, I feel like. And it saddens me that men just feel like, you know what? I have to just accept this. And I'm waiting for her to pull the plug. And then all of a sudden when she does, y'all are distraught. And I'm losing everything to this woman when you could have just recognized a long time ago and seen the signs of, yo, this shit is just not working out anymore.
Can I ask one quick question before you go? So are y'all saying that men shouldn't be loyal?
No, I'm not saying that. It has nothing to do with being loyal. It's just a matter of if shit is not working out.
Men are more loyal?
I don't know if I would say loyal or as I would say complacent.
Do you think
men
have
more to lose?
Hold on. Let me go down let me run it down real quick. So you're saying we aren't loyal. We are complacent in these situations?
I didn't say you weren't loyal. I said that you all are more complacent is what I would say in this situation.
Are we more loyal?
Yeah, I would say so.
And we're also complacent?
I feel like men are loyal to a fault.
How much how much bearing on our decision do you think our kids make when we don't divorce?
How much bearing do the kids influence do the kids have?
Men don't usually divorce because we know how the court can often go. So why would I give up my greatest assets and not be around my children every day?
But that goes back into the conversation, and I do feel like men have more to lose, but I think that goes back into the conversation of, because enough men don't go ahead and initiate things always fall into the realm, into the favor of the women. I think y'all gotta empower yourselves a little bit more.
Alex, last question. Does it also kind of speak to Gunny's point?
I would say so.
Go ahead, Q. Okay. Go ahead, Q.
Yeah. So to me, as I'm hearing you speak, Alex, about happiness in marriage, it's like if a person threw away a sandwich because it came with bread, you know what I mean? Like divorcing because you're not happy, like that comes with marriage.
Right, and I'm not saying that you're going to be happy all the time, or maybe a man just realizes that, let's take happiness off the table. It's not healthy. It's a toxic relationship. But sometimes men will stay just because of the fact that, yo, I don't want to go through it's cheaper to keep her. I don't want to go through all of that. So I just stay and deal with the crazy that I'm used to until she goes ahead and she pulls the plug on the situation. Women are more apt to pull the plug before a man will. That's not healthy.
And so toxicity in a marriage is a deal breaker.
Yes, it should be. Granted, there are levels to toxicity and things being unhealthy, but if I feel like it's toxic, it's not healthy, it's not fruitful, it's time to go.
Okay. So, like, are you saying if a person is not making any progress or efforts to come out of those spaces? Because I know people who have successful marriages who've been through all of that and some shit that we'll be like, oh, what the fuck?
Right.
But their ability to work through it is what kept them together. So,
but I think that's the difference.
I'm sure it looked like they were being complacent. So
but I think that's and I get the point with that, but I think that's the difference though. Do you have a partner who is willing to work with you? Or is this just how the things are always going to be? It takes two. And I'm just saying from someone not in my marriage, but I have been in a toxic situation. And it was just like, something, we are not healthy. This is physical, it's not okay, it's physically, mentally, emotionally abusive. We have to get out of it. And I had to be the one to be like, all right, I'm done. Because if not, the chaos would have just continued on.
Right.
Alex, I noticed I want to get Gunny in. I know you said partner. But I feel like women want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional women.
We're not in traditional times, though.
But that's not what I said. Women want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional women. The men, what you use men for is still the same. You still have the same expectations for men, but you guys don't often fulfill those traditional expectations that we also want.
So, and with that, it goes back to me saying, like, if we got married and I feel like I'm not a man, but if you're not holding up the expectation of being this traditional woman, and if you were presenting one way before we got married and then we get married and you're doing something completely different, at what point do you as the man say, okay, we got to fix this shit because this is not what I signed up for? Are you going to stay and quote unquote suffer and continue on with it? This is not the lifestyle that you wanted? Or do you decide to go ahead, I'm gonna walk away? Like, what are you doing?
Alice, I think you would be a 4th round draft pick. Your back pedal is decent. Great.
So,
Let me get Gunny. Hold on. I just said I'm gonna get Gunny and then Asia. You could jump in.
No, I think that Alex said something that was profound. You said that we're not in traditional times. I don't want to misquote you, but is that what you said, Alex?
Yes.
For the human beings on the bottom, yes, we're not in traditional times. But for the human beings on the top, things have been the same in 2023, 1923, 1953. It's always been the same. Men have been expected to be the provider and the protector for the last 150, 200, 300 years. There hasn't been any change whatsoever. The times have changed for women, but not men. And I think that's the problem.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what I was kind of getting at, Gunny, too. But I think you cleared it. Love, go ahead. Read the super chat for me and then you can rock.
Thank you for the super chat. One pill of $4.99. When I'm a happily married man, he's usually not stressing about finances and got 1 or 2 side chicks. Thank you, One pill. So I want to answer the question. I like the first sentence Gunny said I agree with, and that first sentence was, and I may not be quoting him, but I don't think that the men as the leader should not leave. I think that they're not wasting their time trying to keep the family together. And I want to ask, like, when you say you're wasting too much time in the relationship, and I'm going to say marriage because this example is not divorcing. What are you doing to make it work? Like, what are you doing to keep it viable? And so that may be one of the issues, because I know a lot of Black men don't like therapy. They don't think therapy works. So with that, are you initiating the therapy to get to learn your communication styles and to communicate better? Like, what are you all doing? Because you want to stay. Y'all are saying leave. You're not happy, but what are you doing to make things work? So I don't think you're wasting too much time. I think that you are not even trying all of the resources that you have.
Yeah, I can definitely answer that. Just being open to all options, not being afraid to go to counseling. One of the things when I was younger, I didn't want to go to counseling. I was like, no, I'm not trying to go and tell anybody my personal problems or whatever, but it does help. Not being afraid to go to counseling, not being afraid to have men that are 20, 30 years older than you. I go to my dad. My dad's been married. My mom and dad been married 53 years. Whenever I have a problem, I go to them and I ask them. Because sometimes I don't know everything. So when you're open to options that are outside of the norm, because when you're the leader of the household, you have to you pretty much you see everything, and you see, okay, well, this is not going right, this is not going right, this is not going right. Okay, so what do I need to do in order to fix it? Not, okay, well, she's not doing this or she's not doing that. You try to look within yourself as much as you can to try to fix it. And just look for unconventional means to do that, and you have to be willing to do that if you want to keep the unit together. And it's difficult. Some things work and some things don't work, but whatever the case may be, you accept it.
And that's the healthy way and that is so healthy, and that's the mature way of looking at it. Because like you said, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be work. I think that sometimes men are saying traditional men and modern women and all that nonsense. But at the same time, I still think there has to be some type of work that needs to occur in better communication and expressing yourself as men, because we already know a lot of Black men don't know how to express themselves in a healthy manner.
Yeah, you don't know that, and that's why I feel like what Gunny's saying is still dangerous, because there was no accountability for the other side. He's saying you got to explore this,
but the question is men though, so that's why we're taking it from the men's perspective. So that's why he and I are taking it from this perspective.
When he answered, it's an assumption that the man is the problem.
No, that's not what I mean, and that goes to what we talked about last week, as far as the woman knowing her role. And you guys kind of alluded to it yesterday with the whole coaching thing. Like, once again, when you're in a leadership position, you're able to pull your woman to the side and say, hey, we need to talk about this. I don't like this. I don't like that. What is it that you don't like from what I'm doing? Tell me what you don't like. So she tells me that she doesn't like this and she doesn't like that. And then as a leader, I'm saying, okay, so maybe we need to go to counseling, or maybe we need to do this, or maybe we need it's not excusing accountability, but it's identifying what the problem is, whether it's with myself or whether it's with her or whether it's with both of us, and then we fix it. That brings clarity to it.
Right.
That's better, because you have to uncover all parties. All parties need to be brought to the table. Who brings said table, right? It better not be no motherfucking red table. That's for damn sure. Right? Women don't know. Like that's like you said, that ain't their role. So once you clarify that makes more sense.
We can let what Gunny said breathe, because he said some really good stuff. So
I don't need to do shit. First off, let's get that clear. And what he said, I don't even like his hat that much.
Go O's.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, like, everybody's being brought, because I feel like, as leaders, we feel like we have to figure it out, and it got to be within us somewhere. And I think we're accountable, but I think more accountability needs to be put on our women, and we got to hold them to it. Isha, go ahead, love. What'd you say? All right, just stop talking under your breath. That's like what my kids do when they get in trouble. I hate this nigga. What you say? Nothing. Isha.
I kind of agree. I agree with Gunny.
crazy, Beast. I know.
But I also want to say that if you go into a marriage with the understanding that come hell or high water, we're going to fulfill this purpose, then men aren't wasting too much time in relationships. They have the understanding to know that there is purpose that we need to fulfill. And I don't care if I don't like you today. I might not even love you today, but we're going to make this work because we haven't fulfilled the purpose, the reason why we're even married.
Yeah. I believe.
Go ahead, Chief. Go, Chief.
No, I believe everybody goes in with that intent. Like, isn't that part of the vows? I mean, not necessarily those words, but hell or high water is all a part of the movement, man. And then somewhere along the line, that shit goes completely left.
Listen, when I was married, like month 1, I was like, listen, if this don't work, we can get divorced. You know, there was always, if this don't work, in the back of my head. But if you go into marriage like this is going to work because divorce is not off the table, then that kind of forced you to do the things that Gunny was saying, okay, find different avenues to solve those problems. Let's come to the table. It forces you to deal with the issues. It forces you to understand that I'm not happy right now, but that's not a reason to leave.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying a lot of people go in with that. You know, the wedding night is cool. You say all the shit everybody want to hear. Then when shit hit the fan, don't nobody want to have sensible communication.
No, that's real. But Ish, what can't be fleeting? Like, I feel like respect can't be fleeting. I feel like love and happiness, those things can be fleeting. But I feel like respect, if you lose respect for a man or don't respect the man, what he's trying to do, I don't know if it's gonna work well. What you think about that?
I think order can't be fleeting, because if you understand order, then you understand respect. So, and if he is, like was spoken yesterday, if he is being led by God and then you're letting him lead you, it doesn't matter how you feel, but you need to understand order, and that's the foundation. Understanding order is not fleeting.
So I got a ask question here. I got a good one.
No, mine's probably better, but go ahead.
All right, go ahead. Let's go. Go ahead.
Ish, so if your man say he led by the Most High, he say you can't eat pork no more, you with that type of shit, right?
We're not eating pork.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
So my question is this: what about if he says something that you don't agree with, right? So yeah, he's saying he's led by God, but you feel like God is not telling y'all that. Do you still follow him?
Yeah, because I have a relationship with God too, right? So I can pray in my own private time, right? And hopefully, I know God hears me, that he can change this man's mind. But me changing his mind is not going to work. Like, he has to feel like he did it himself, right?
You want to tell him you should not tell you that, huh?
Hey, Mr. White, you right. Your question was better. You exposed it.
I'm serious. Like, I'm not gonna tell him, oh, we can't do that. I'm gonna have to follow him. But if I feel like this is not the best thing, I'm gonna continue to pray, and hopefully God reveals it to him without me coming like, this is, hold up.
But you always gonna have feelings, though. Go ahead, Chief.
No, have you reference respect being something that's fleeting, and I think I want to ask, since Ish was in a hot seat for a minute, do they go hand to hand, respect and trust, Ish? Because if trust is fleeting, I feel like shit starts to go downhill fast. Do respect and trust go hand in hand, or like, because
kinda?
That's sticky. I don't know, because I can trust you to show up for the important shit, right? And you can still not respect me, like, that bitch stupid, but this needs to be done.
I want to mine this out a little bit. So, Ish, you saying, so you gonna just go pray a little harder than him?
God did not tell you that.
If I feel like he about to run us, like, either I'm gonna pray that God puts my heart at ease about it, and it might, and helps me to understand what he's doing what he's doing. Maybe he did speak to him, he just didn't confirm it with me. But I'm gonna pray that I'm at ease about it, and if it's not the right decision, that God reveals it to him.
Yo, listen. No. So that is a good. Asia shaking her head. Asia, you not built like that. Asia,
You don't even
not
know me,
about to go
son.
pray
First of
about
all, you don't
him.
even
You
know me,
about to
son.
tell him about
Listen,
himself.
I prayed before I
You
came
about
on
to
this podcast. That's
check
why it's
him.
going so
You
smooth. That's
about
why
to
I'm
do
being
whatever you
feminine
want
right
to
now. 'Cause I
do.
prayed before I came on here. I will
My
not let
bad,
you
Miss Risky.
activate me.
Miss Risky, you about to tell him about himself. You're not going to pray about nothing.
No, I'm not.
You
I would
sitting there shaking your head like,
it's true.
that's right, girl.
I'm a big prayer. I am a huge prayer. I pray constantly throughout the day. And I don't need, because I don't want those problems in my marriage, because he's going to feel that's going to cause another argument. If I sit there and say, no, God didn't say, like, I mind doing that. Lord, you got it. Like, put my mind at ease, put my spirit at ease, or change his. But in the meantime, between time, help me bridle my tongue, Lord. Help me, because you know I'm your child. So I pray hard.
That's what he said. That's what Mr. White's saying.
I know.
You have to pray for the Most High to shut you up. That's crazy.
That's first. So what? We're all human. You got to pray for him to shut you up sometimes, because your mouth is reckless and your behavior is horrible sometimes.
No, I don't sin.
Matter of fact, you should be
Sin.
like
So
Like,
I don't sin. I don't sin. So you talk about horrible. Horrible is defined by human beings. I mean, I ain't trying to hear that bullshit. But you talking about change his mind. You faith without works is faith without works is faith without works is I'm talking about Isha. I'm talking about Isha.
He said you. I'm talking to me.
Faith, you ain't really saying shit. Faith without works is dead. I mean, I'm trying to be nice. You just talking a lot, but faith without works is dead. So, Ish, you know that.
But I also said him, even if I'm like, maybe it's like my nerves, it's like, oh, he could be making a bad decision. He could be bringing us into the poorhouse. Then I'm going to pray and ask God to reveal it to me, that what he revealed to him, so that I am more comfortable with it, so I can follow him with ease.
But I think we're missing a huge part. I think we're missing a huge part of the scenario. This once again falls on the whole leadership issue. If you're a leader, if I'm a pastor in a church in my congregation, and I say that, hey, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and somebody in the congregation comes and say, hey, pastor, I really don't understand what you said, and I say, go back and pray about it, that's a failure on my part as far as leadership. I need to sit down with that person in the congregation and sit down and explain with them to the best of my ability why I want you to do X, Y, and Z. So we're missing that part. If as a husband, I say that we need to do this and you have no idea why I'm doing it, and then you go pray about it, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. You should at least have some idea why we're doing what we're doing. Because I should be willing to sit down and explain it to you, and that takes time and effort. It does. So I think we're missing a. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I agree with you. If he explains it, then I should be able to accept it a little bit better. However, I've been a single parent for so long, so I'm coming in with my own shit too. So I'm like, okay, giving him all that control is making me a little bit anxious. So if I need to pray to smooth my anxiety, then I'm going to pray to smooth my anxiety.
Yeah, but Ish, just to be clear, that is different than maybe what was initially heard. So if your husband has a decision to make and he's following the Most High, and you say, man, I'm having issues with the control, and you praying to just get your feelings and emotions in order, that's different than praying and like, let's change his mind.
Right. Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
But
yeah.
A lot of it is my issue with relinquishing a lot of control because I've had it for so long. But also, if he gave me an idea, and because sometimes men don't think everything, they don't think like women think. So if I feel like he's missing a piece there, I need God to give me some peace with this, because I don't know everything, but I might feel like I do.
Yeah, that's fair. Go ahead, love. Oh, Q, you want to say something? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, and this is with all due respect, like, some of the stuff y'all women are saying, like, I understand some of what the guys be saying when they say y'all flip-flop, because some of the shit is not making all the way sense, but I love the fuck out of y'all, so I just want to say that. But, because it's like, you said something interesting, Ish. You just said, like, men don't think the way that women do. So it almost sounds like you don't fully trust their expertise. So how could you successfully be led by one? Right? So that's what I heard. But it does also sound like you want to be led by a man. So
Absolutely, because my desire to do things the way that it is supposed to do, I'm still going to have to deal with my own issues.
Work through it.
Yeah. So because I want to be led, then I'm going to have to be able to trust a little bit more with somebody taking care of what I'm so used to taking care of.
Yeah.
I guess, and I know y'all call me flip-floppy all the time, backpedaling, but, and maybe I'm just not there with my walk with Christ, but I'm going to be like, God did not tell you that. If it doesn't sit well with my spirit, and I may not say it immediately. No, I may not say it immediately, and I have a very delayed response to things. I have to take a moment to be like, did you just say what I heard you just say? I want to clarify that's what you said. And I'm gonna go and pray on it. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna be logical. But I'm gonna come back to you and be like, I know you said what you said. However, we should look at it this way and that way and X, Y, and Z. I am not in the business as much as I love my husband. I'm not, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Now, maybe I may have more questions. Maybe I need to ask more of that. Maybe you give me some more supporting evidence. But if it don't make sense, I'm not, no.
And that's one of them issues, man. I think women, you guys make so many decisions based on fear, man. Like, fear is a mind killer. It is the evil that disintegrates you from the inside out. You must learn to face it, control it. But women just make so many decisions based on what they're scared that might happen. Because that's kind of what it sounds like, Let me read the super chat real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Sinead Fulton with the $5 super chat. It's a problem for her to have her own relationship with God and seek Him so they are on one accord. It's giving control, Gunny.
That's what I was going to say. That's why I wanted to read it, because I was going to immediately say, with his analogy about the pastor and the husband, and I got a problem with you asking God or praying to God after that. There should never be a problem. My husband should never have a problem with me talking to God about anything. Never have a problem with that. If I had, even as a pastor, if I'm being taught something and being preached to on Sunday, the word says study to show yourself approved unto God. Like study. You can pray, you can study, you can do all those things because God is going to confirm. So there's nothing wrong with praying on something that you've heard. That doesn't take away your leadership, doesn't take away from your authority or anything. Your authority should need to be challenged if I'm praying as well and asking God for confirmation or Lord, show me. Like, there should be nothing wrong with that. And it is giving slight control. And I think that's one of the problems with organized religion, because they try to control. I'm the pastor. I said this. The word of God, I hear feedback. I'm not sure if you hear it too, and I'm the pastor. God said this, and this is how it's going to be. Well, yeah, but it shouldn't be a total mystery and it hasn't been confirmed. I think that's problematic, and that's where I'm going to not be okay with that. I agree with Nay on that.
No, maybe I didn't explain myself well enough. So maybe I should, with the example with the pastor.
You did explain yourself well. They just don't listen. You explained yourself perfectly well.
Okay.
Go ahead and try to switch it up so they can understand you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm a pastor and I'm giving word to the congregation, and a person in the congregation doesn't understand it, and they come to me for guidance, and I tell them to go and pray about it instead of sitting down with them and explaining to them further in depth about what I meant, that's a problem. Instead of saying, this is what I meant, that's better than saying, we'll go pray about it and come to your own conclusion. That's what I meant.
Terrible. Yeah.
So the analogy also with the husband, there's nothing wrong with explaining, because we will have questions. I mean, we're adult women. We're going to have questions. And again, your authority shouldn't feel threatened. Not just you, Gunny, but men, period. Your authority should not feel threatened, or your leadership should not be threatened if I'm asking questions. And if I'm going to pray about it too. Yeah, I heard what you said. I'm gonna pray about this too. That shouldn't be a problem.
I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. And maybe that was what Mr. White was alluding to. Maybe you guys didn't hear me or understand what I'm saying.
I'm adding clarity because there was one of them two on the side, the top right. was talking about asking and praying and it shouldn't have to and all this and that. I'm just providing clarity and a further talking point. I know what I said.
Yeah, so there's nothing in the Bible that supports a lot of what it is that's being said, though, and that's the problem. So your husband can give you commandments, right? Your husband is your Lord. Your husband rules over you. If you're gonna pray, you need to pray with your husband. You shouldn't be discerning the Bible by yourself because the Bible doesn't say you should do that, right? If you knew how to read the Bible, you understand that there's gonna be somebody who reads it and somebody gives the sense. Right, this own private interpretation is fully against the Bible, but we continue to lean on this. Also, this personal relationship thing, you can't find that in the Bible. The Bible has very strict rules and instructions, and I think we really just need to just get away from it or read it to understand it. And I think we would be better off because we would have more structure. But we're too fluid, and so now everybody's just doing what they want to do, and then we see the results of that.
Yeah, for people who don't subscribe to that, putting all that Bible shit to the side, what it sounded like when I first heard Isha's first statement, and I think you kind of spoke to this, Hamp, is that she would be making a backdoor deal with God behind her husband's back. So religion out of it. I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's probably what Gunny was speaking to.
Yeah, I think Gunny said a lot of good points. Go ahead, Isha. Clarify your point.
I don't know if it's a backdoor deal, but if I just want him to be sure about the decision that he's about to make. So if he is heading down the wrong direction, I need God to step in and help him see that. And I'm not saying change his mind, but if there's something wrong with the decisions that he's about to make, help him make it clear to him.
So how does that prayer go?
Him, come on now.
No, I'm serious. I'm being dead.
That's a great question.
So
I'm not going.
So Isha, this is what I'm hearing. And Q, this will help us get clarity. I'm thinking that prayer would go from a husband for her wife. Hey, wife, the Most High, right? We're dealing with a tough decision. Mm-hmm. We see some differences. Please give my husband a proper discernment. Do what you can for him to help him make the best decision.
And also, do what you can with me to make me comfortable with his decision.
Yeah, no, fair. But I'm saying in terms of clarity for the point that's being addressed, is that how the prayer will go?
And also stating that I understand order, that whatever decision my husband makes, I'm going to have to follow it.
Okay. Yeah, word.
So would you be more inclined to the second part of your prayer than the first part? Like in the end, would you be more like, yeah, I said that part for him, but the part I'm most concerned with God is the part for me to be able to trust his decision, whatever it may be, even if it's still the original decision.
No, I just think that is all equal. Like, yes, I still want you to confirm whatever is going on with him. If he's right or wrong, I need confirmation. And if I need to be comfortable with it, work in me. I'm never going to sit here and pray for somebody and not pray for myself. If it's the work that needs to be done is with me, then do the work within me.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think you addressed both. That gives a lot of, I think that's sound advice for sure. Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Be coachable to his programming. Triggering for jokes, but seriously. It's not about control, but we can't be of two mindsets either. That's real. Shanae Fulton says, one Lord, Hamp, no other gods before him. I'm not sure what she's addressing.
Because you say your husband is your Lord.
Yeah, and also if did you know that the Bible's not monotheistic. You got Shanae, you know that, right? There's a bunch of gods in the Bible. Good God, does anybody read it or y'all just use it for fucking toilet paper?
That's some personal shit here. That's y'all shit, that Bible shit.
I ain't talking to you. You already told me. I'm clear. We clear. But like, there's so many gods. One of the first words in the Bible. Look at love, because she want to go to her pastor so he could teach her about some bullshit, but he go cheat on his wife. But when I start telling the truth, motherfuckers don't want to hear it. But whatever. You know what I mean? Like the word Elohim is God's plural, literally.
We know this. Elohim.
You don't know. You remember last time you tried to jump out there and act like you knew something? You remember last time you tried to jump in there, act like you knew something, and then what happened?
Don't mute me.
Come on,
It's
man.
the truth.
All right, let me read this super chat real quick. Nah, we having fun. Isha just gave some real good game while y'all fronting. Oh, for once, Omega Green with the $5 super chat. Ephesians 5:24. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit their husbands in everything. Word is bomb. Nah, this been a good ass chat. Gunny, Isha, Alice was on the hot seat. Oh, like I said, you a third round pick. You ain't a first round pick, so that's actually good.
From fourth to third. Okay. Thank you.
Word, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Hey, if you guys super chat, I can read these super chats if y'all want to talk about it. For sure. All right, man. So I was looking up a couple stats. So it said 49% of people, and there's a bunch of different stats out there. But 49% of people said they felt like their degree was a waste of money. 22% of people, I think it was like 21.6, said that or don't actually work in their field. And I feel like that's a pretty large percentage for you to pay for a degree that costs you $100,000. Do you guys feel like 20% of people is pretty significant? I feel like it is. I could be wrong, but I just feel like it is. So, and I asked it more bluntly, we can dive into it, but is going to college a waste of time? Is going to college a waste of time?
Absolutely.
Tell us why, Q.
College, all it does is give you student loan debt. And then from there, you're one of hundreds of people trying to go after the same position. It's not like, I think many people who have been to college actually said the biggest benefit is having networking connections. That you can pay into certain organizations and get that. And it's way cheaper than a fucking college tuition. I think it's just like, and I've said this before in chaotics try to come from my head, but I think it's just like anything else that America sells, that debt. So they're gonna sell you the fucking American dream. The college tuition comes with the financial, comes with the job, which comes with the financial security. And I also think that whatever these positions are, you put a cap on how much you make. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you have natural hustle in you. You'll probably in the end of your lifetime make more money than the average person who went to college and said, "Oh, I retired at $100,000 and whatever thousand or $200,000 in salary." So I think it's an absolute fucking waste of time. Same education you can get there. You can also educate you. I mean, think about the stuff that's around us right now: books, the internet, all this shit. Y'all go ahead with it though.
Go ahead,
I
love.
don't think it's a waste of time for certain people and for certain degrees. No. I mean, you need college for doctors. You need college for lawyers and therapists. So I don't necessarily think, I think it's overpriced and it's not for everybody. I don't believe everyone has to go to college. I think that is a part of the scam, that everybody has to go to get to this certain point, but I don't think it's a waste of time because I believe that you have to go to college for certain careers. It's a must.
So do you think for the majority of people it's a waste of time?
It depends on what you're going there for. I mean, I don't want to answer that question because it depends on what you're going for. If people are for doctors, for example, no, it's not a waste of time.
But most people aren't going to be doctors and attorneys. So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Why not?
Do you think going to college is for a majority of people is a waste of time?
Not for the lawyers, doctors, and
aside from them.
So for what the teachers? No, teachers need to go to college.
Well, so if the charter school is a huge thing now. You don't need certifications and everything.
But they need to go to college though. Because how do you learn how to educate? How do you get best practices in education? I think that to be a teacher, I think you should go to college. So if you want to eliminate doctors and lawyers from this conversation, what about the teachers? You want teachers just to read a book on their own and sit there and say, "Now you can teach this"? No, there's a way you write curriculum. There's a way that you have to interact with, certain personality types and different ways of learning. I mean, there is benefits for going to college for certain careers. That's my original statement.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think.
hold on,
I'm
guys.
sorry.
So
Yeah, no, I think majority it is a waste of time.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
So, love, do you think for the majority of people, college is a waste of time, or do you think that for the majority of people, it's worth something?
Okay, because you want a yes or no answer, right?
Well, no, I'm saying for the majority of people, do you think it's a waste of time, or do you think that the majority that go, it benefits them in the right way for the rest of their life?
For their career, yes, it benefits them. If they're going to be a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer.
I don't want to put you in the back. I just need an answer.
Doing social work, maybe not. I don't know. Like, I don't, or communication. Like, read a book. Put me in the back then. Put me in the bathroom. I don't know how you want me to answer this question. I answered it 3 times. It's like when you're like one of those surveys. That's the same question.
Fuck it. All right, Gunny, go ahead.
No, absolutely, yes. It's a waste of time unless you're going for a specific degree. I was a teacher for 6 years after I retired from the Marine Corps. I was a teacher for 6 years. You need a degree. I'm studying for the LSAT. I'm taking the LSAT in 2 months. That's specific. I want to be a lawyer. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a teacher. But if you're trying to get a biology degree and you're not trying to go to medical school, communications, business, it's all a waste of time. It's a huge money grab. It's a giant waste of time, and it's a scam, and they're just trying to milk money out of people. Absolutely, because it's ridiculous.
And can I just piggyback on that?
Read this for me, Q.
Okay, $5 super chat from Omega Green. Depends. Go for STEM, medical or law. However, if you go for BS degrees like communications, is that supposed to be policies or
poli-sci, political science,
poli-sci, or criminal justice? It's wasted time.
Facts.
So they're not saying anything different than what I said. I'm trying to why I got put in the back when Gunny and Omega Green said the same thing I said. Why I got put in the back?
Gunny said it's a huge waste of time for the majority
if you don't go to lawyer.
He said it's a huge waste. Nah, hold on, Q. Fuck that. He said it's a huge waste of time. He was very decisive, right? You can learn a lot from Gunny if you would listen. Also, Omega Green did a $5 super chat. What the fuck, you want me to not read it? Like, what are you talking about? I'm sorry for my conduct. Go ahead, Q.
I don't understand. I'm sorry, Q. Go ahead, talk. Because I don't see a difference in what.
Yeah. Let Q talk, please. Please let Q talk.
You didn't say anything different. I said the majority.
Yeah, I think that's what you was trying to say, love. Okay, I'll give you that one. I think that's what you were trying to say. I think shout out to Omega Green and Gunny. I think that you guys said it the way that is most palatable. Because I was trying to say the same thing. I just said in a very direct, harsh way. If you're going and what you're going for has a purpose, yes, success in that and that personal side of it for you. But for the most part, what Gunny was speaking to is that money grab. And a lot of the degrees that people go for, they don't even end up working in those fields. And it doesn't really bring a lot in the back end for all the money that you pay out. So yes, I've said this for years and I still, just stand on it. College is a waste of time overall for most people.
Word. Chief, now you are highly educated. You work in a field where you change lives on a daily basis. Look at Love over there hating. You see her, Chief? She talking while she's on mute. and she hate the fact that I gave you props, Chief.
I appreciate you.
Because he's in education. I said that is worth the degree. So what do you
why you can't stay on mute? Alex, say something. Go, Chief.
So I'm slightly biased in this, but to answer the question, I 100% agree with what everybody's saying, but if I got to be direct, I don't think college is a waste of time for many other factors outside of the fuck. I think the whole tuition is some bullshit. I think half of the shit that they learn is some bullshit, but I do think just the lessons you get from the independence you gain. I mean, one of my biggest flexes is I don't owe no school nothing. You know what I'm saying? So because of my situation, but sports in college has taught me a lot of the lessons I still carry with myself to this day. And I don't know if I'd have some of those traits had I not gone through those experiences. In my particular case, I do use my degrees in what in the field that I work in right now, so it was beneficial in that regard. But I also, on the same note, I feel like I've seen people who like the behavior support assistants and the TAs who don't necessarily have degrees are better teachers than some of the teachers that are in the building. You know what I'm saying? So you could have someone who's never had a college degree but just knows how to build rapport with kids, and once you get kids to buy in, you could teach them anything. So I think the degree on that end is some bullshit. But I agree with everybody, but if I had to answer the question, I do not think college is a waste of time.
Okay. Mr. White, Alex, Isha, what you think?
I don't think going to college is a waste of time. I think tuition is ridiculous. I'm curious if they have these conversations in other countries where college is free. I agree with everyone, share the same sentiment. It depends on what you are choosing to major in. I think the biggest thing, though, is that, and just when I was working with high schoolers and myself, who was a biology major, and then luckily I'm in the health field, and then I got my master's in healthcare administration. But I think for me, my biggest issue was that I didn't know what I could do with my degree, right? They want you to go to school, you do all this time, and then you come out to graduate, and then for an entry-level position, they want you to have all of this experience. And I'm just like, but it's entry-level. What I have seen, though, in my work experience and being in healthcare, I have seen people, to Chief's point, who have the experience, right? They're great at what they do, but there was a cap for them because they don't have that piece of paper. And for me, I think of college as it's giving you Adrian White with the $5 super chat. So much for love operating in her feminine tonight. But I think that going to college opens up options for people, and options that some may not have had, because everyone can't be an entrepreneur. Everyone doesn't have the quote unquote hustler spirit. Some people need to go to college to go ahead and give them that. And I think it's also a safety net. There's nothing wrong with that. I do think it's unfortunate that in this country, college is so expensive for you to get out into the work field, and then you're making a fraction of that. And I think for the individuals who go to school and then they don't even get in their fields, I think it's because they weren't educated when they chose to major in what they chose to major in. Like, you shouldn't have majored in criminal justice. Like, that was just foolish. Like, what were you going to come out and do? You shouldn't have been no shade at anybody who was like a psych major, or unless you're going to continue that on, you shouldn't have done that. And I think those are the conversations that people need to have before kids go to college. Major in something that is going to get you a job, not something where you're struggling afterwards.
Yeah. Mr. White, Isha.
I'm more with on Chief's side, yo. College was fun as hell. The experience of it was absolutely great. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world, yo. But I do feel like now, especially with the way things are moving more in technology, and you don't need a degree, I definitely don't think the majority of people should be doing it now. But in my era when we went, I wouldn't change it for the world, man. The people you meet, the places you get to go, like, you literally develop a whole family from just going, and then those experiences. Hey, if you remember the classics we used to have, man, you can't put a price on some of that stuff, man. You can't put a price on some of that stuff, yo. So
yeah, I think it was fun. I think it was fun, but I just don't know how much value it holds, though, to the grand scheme.
I think it's just the experience, right? And then think about, because you were in college, how many places you traveled and places you went.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Let me ask you a question. I don't want to hear that bullshit. All right, so you know what type of college we had, right?
Yeah.
You saying you sending your daughters to that?
No, hell.
See? Yo.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. So yeah, you're right. You're right. Damn. Yeah, you're right.
Yo, go ahead, Ish.
I think college is worth it. If not for opening up more doors career-wise in my field, I guess, and give me the opportunity to move around like I do, because I've moved around quite a bit. And I'm confident that if I pick up and go, I'm going to be able to find a job where I can afford to take care of myself and my son.
Word. Read the super chat for me each.
Thanks, Shanae Fulton, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Chief. Higher ed should be free unless it's medicine and law. Q and Gunny, thumbs down.
Yo, I think the one thing that we misplace his value is the fact that the one thing I hate about some of you guys' fields is you have to get all these certifications and upward degrees just to make a little bit of money. I feel like that's a damn shame. You know, like that is, I mean, that sucks, you know, and I just that just makes it just not worth it to me.
And shout out to Shanae for getting her master's. So she's one of them people that Gunny named, even though she giving him a thumbs down, who she actually went for what she went for, and she's in that field. So she wouldn't be included in the person who wasted her time at college. But
Right. I was saying the same thing. Like, what is she talking about?
She just want to argue.
Just argue to argue. You got it. Thumbs up.
She like agreed. She agreed in real life, but thumbs down the thing.
It's all good. She knows she love us though. That's what it is. She gotta fuck with it.
Word. Interesting. Any final thoughts on this?
I do want to say that. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say there is nothing wrong with going to trade school also. There's nothing wrong with that. Get it, do what you have to do. I love about this generation is that they are looking for different streams and ways and avenues to get money, and don't allow people to make you feel that just because you aren't college educated that you are less than somebody else. Because I do hate that perception that people have. Like, we're not looking, me personally, I'm not looking down on anyone because you didn't go to college. It was a choice for me. It was the option that I have. I wanted different things for my life. I'm nobody's hustler. I want to go to school, get my job, and be done with things. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there for folks who didn't go to school.
Okay. Mike Brown with the $10 super chat. We are speaking from different outlook. Y'all 30 and older speaking from outcome of college. What will you tell your kid? What will you tell your 18-year-old self? 2008, Walmart wasn't even hiring. Yeah, that's true. It was tough around then for sure. Yeah, man. I just feel like it's so much. Yeah, I think the certification in trades, maybe I would lean towards because they just cost a little bit less. I mean, you know, you can get a CDL for $8,000, $9,000. And you definitely got to drive that truck, but you can make a decent living for sure. You know, because I'm in it for the money. Like, I shovel shit all day long if they pay me right. You know, so I don't know. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One question, yes or no? Mr. White, would you tell your 18-year-old self to go to college still?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, well, I know you was. Yeah. Chief, if you had to pay for college, would you tell your 18-year-old self go to college?
No, it's quiet for that. If I had to pay for it, no. If I had to pay for it, I ain't going. Couldn't afford it. That was the whole reason why I worked the way I worked. No.
Word. Gunny, what say you?
Absolutely not. I would tell my 18-year-old self not to go to college.
Yeah. Word. Alex.
I would say go, but you better apply for more scholarships. So you don't have to pay out of pocket.
Word. Q.
No.
Ish.
Most definitely would. I think because I look back at our town and I see a lot of people get stuck there.
Yeah.
Definitely
an outlet in that way. Asia, love.
Yes, I would tell my 18-year-old self to go to college. I just wouldn't take out stupid student loans I didn't need. And I did actually work in my field for several years. So yeah, I just would be better with my finances and taking out student loans, and I would still do the biology and do the research and teaching.
Okay. Real Bravado. Shout out to my brother, Real Bravado Network, with the $20 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. To a quote unquote degree, college is a scam. Oh, to a degree. Okay. College is a scam. Ellipsis. I have 2 grad degrees and don't use any of them, especially with the humanities degree, including business. Shout out to the crew with this conversation. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Damn, I have one more super chat. Pardon me. Pardon me. Right here. Shanae N. Fulton with the $5 super chat. I have a bachelor's degree in design. Do not work in. I'm in government now. Got a master's in policy to go further in government. I said what I said, so keep it gunny thumbs down.
What?
Yo, she wildin', man.
She got it.
Yeah, she a legend, man.
I know that's right, Nay. Use your voice, Nay.
Damn, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm enjoying this conversation. I feel like it's been multifaceted. You know what I mean? You know, I've been love talking about the hoes and niggas, but I like this too, for sure. Okay, so we kind of hit this last question I want to ask, you know. We kind of hit it pretty hard last week. So I just wonder, you know, with our community, with the things that are happening, how we're seeing the propaganda, so on and so forth. Are Black people wasting time expecting the community to change as a whole? You know, are Black people wasting time expecting the community as a whole to make a change? So I feel like we all keep faith, we all keep hope. We hear, whether you call them activists or race baiters, telling us this, that, and the third. We do make a lot of money as Black people, but I feel like we are still frowned upon, still looked in a negative light. Are we wasting time that thinking this will change? Ish, what you think?
I absolutely do think that we're wasting time. I think because we're just thinking that it's going to change instead of doing things to change it ourselves. I think we're waiting for like the macro level to do some big change where we need to start impacting change on the micro level ourselves.
Damn. Okay. What? Well, it's be a hard question. Like, what is that? But okay. Read the super chat for me real quick.
Shout out to Mike Brown for the $5 super chat. Chief wouldn't be a teacher. Gunny couldn't go to law school.
Mike, give me more perspective or context of what you're saying. I'll share it. Let me get this one right here. Will with the $5 super chat. What up, Will? Where the fuck you been at all night? Oh, you ain't had nobody to kick off. You've been chilling. Okay. Will with the $5 super chat. It is a bit predatory that the government extends credit for these degrees, knowing the career field doesn't have a high earning power. I like that. I like that. So what you think, Alex? Are we wasting time?
Sadly, yes.
Now,
Progress.
is this your Jamaican side or your Black side talking?
Don't do that.
All right, my bad.
Sadly, yes. Okay. We are making progress, but it's taking a long time, and I don't necessarily know that we are on one page enough to make the progress as quick as we should.
Okay, we're not well aligned.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going in a bunch of different directions.
I feel like I feel like we have the small majority is highlighted to push everyone together, right? When it comes to even us having the conversations about having act right? We want to be, I feel like as a people, we should be a solidified unit in one, but we're not. And we have so much internal disagreement within our own community that it's hard to get on one page in order for us to move forward. And sometimes it's just like, I can't wait for everyone else to get their shit together. Sometimes, and as selfish as it is, we have to think about us and our family. Like, I have to think about me and mine. Like, forget the rest of them. You don't want to do what you got to do. I have to keep moving forward. And I think with us waiting, trying to get everybody on the train, I think it's holding us back for things.
So just to be clear, it's a waste of time?
Yes.
Love, what you think?
Expecting it to change if you're not making change, yes, it's a waste of time. I think you have to do action. And so if you're expecting it to change without you putting forth some type of effort, it's a waste. That's with anything and anybody. So I think, as Isha said, we need to do micro level changes and actions for the community as a whole. But of course, understand changing an entire community is going to take a long, 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 long time. And I think that we get frustrated because it's not changing in the manner in which we think it should change holistically, at the rate we think it should change holistically, but change is occurring. And I think we need to just keep on going and with perseverance. So along with the answer, but very concise and saying, yes, wasting time if you're not making any effort to make the change.
You remember that episode we had where everybody was acting like they were doing so much, and then I went around the room and we found out that we weren't doing nothing at all.
No, in your opinion, we weren't.
No, because if you hold on, let me finish my. So when I went around, everybody acknowledged very directly what I said directly to them. Nobody combated the points I made because they were honest and they were real. Yeah. So, like for instance, when you said that you inspired women, I said where, how, what formal group has it grown, so on and so forth. At that juncture, 5 months ago, it didn't exist. So there was nothing to push back on. Is my point there and then, and it's a clip. It's a clip.
Right. What
I'm just telling you that when we went around the room, nobody was doing shit. B was talking about he helped his next door neighbor, but he didn't have to stop trying to talk while I'm talking, and you wouldn't be upset. So B was trying to talk. What B was trying to helping his next door neighbor, but remember he said he didn't have the capacity to help nobody else. Adrian said he had to kind of pull back from helping the other little black boys because he got a big family that he got to take care of. You remember I said that I'm not coaching no more as much because I got all these kids, but I know how much of an impact I had. So this was a real thing that we actually talked about.
Can I say that? Can I talk now? Are you done?
Oh, because you're not.
I'm really.
What I'm saying is we ain't doing nothing. Hold on a second.
Oh, not done. Okay, go ahead.
Come on, man. God damn. Because a real dialogue, nobody says, "Is it my turn to talk?" That ain't a real dialogue. That's like, shut up. No, you shut up. That's what you just did. Like, come on, man. So what I'm saying is we ain't doing nothing. So then if we answer the question honestly, then I guess it's just a waste of time. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have the floor now. So when we had that conversation months ago, you asked every individual what they were doing. In your mind and in your opinion, which you verbalized, we weren't doing anything. It wasn't worth it. And yeah, B gave his opinion of what he was doing because he could help with the two neighbors next door. Okay, that's a micro level action. He's helping them get groceries, whatever he was saying he was doing. I said I help Black business women is what I said. And that is exactly what I said. I know for a fact I said that. I wrote a tape back. I got receipts. I said that, and you said it wasn't enough. And I said it was. We all went around and said what we believed, but in your opinion, it wasn't enough.
Well, Asia, you just lied.
No, I don't lie. I don't have to lie. I'm grown.
Well, you just lied just now.
So
and you wanted to do this.
No, but
you
wait.
wanted to do
You can
this.
interrupt me, but I can't interrupt you because I was not done talking. I didn't release the
floor. You just lied. That's all I said.
I didn't release the floor, though.
You talk a lot. Go ahead.
No, you talk a lot.
Go, nigga. Go.
So I can talk again now. Thank you.
Yeah, hurry up, man.
More.
Ooh,
you're trying to say that word. So no, I didn't lie. What I'm saying is we all gave our opinion on how we are affecting change in the community. It wasn't to your standards. And so when I said I help Black business women in certain areas, that is putting money back into our community. But you thought it wasn't enough. So I am, speak for myself. I am affecting change in the Black community. And is it going to change overnight? No, it's not. Granted, you and Adrian have other stuff you have to do. Fine. You can't do it at this moment, but you did affect change when you did. You're not going to get flogged in public because you can't do anymore because you got a rack of kids. So when your kids get older, then you can jump back into doing it again because it's in your heart to do. and you will be affecting change in the community as a whole. Now I'm done talking.
No, it's just fucking annoying, honestly, because I literally just recited the whole thing because I know exactly what was said. I don't have that many gifts. As that's one gift I have to recollect.
You don't
stuff.
have that gift either because
So-
you did not recite it verbatim.
What I'm saying is this: you said that you helped a couple people, right? But there's nothing that was real structured. That's what I said. I said, hey, are you growing this? Are you making it a thing? Is it a nonprofit? Like, are you making it something actual, not just like you got a friend and you said, hey, do this, that, and the third with your business? I remember what you said,
and
but that's actually what happened. All right, Agent, stop talking while I'm talking.
Oh, this is the rule again now? Okay, listen.
Yeah, because I'm just telling you exactly what happened in that situation. You made it about you. I was saying, do you remember the panel back then?
And then you said y'all niggas, which is I'm a part of that when you sat there and said y'all.
Oh, we weren't. Yeah, everybody wasn't doing enough. Point blank, period.
And I never
You
said
wanna if you want to effectuate real change.
you have a revisionist mindset, and you always do it to your narrative. I'm trying to be soft and feminine and tiny and quiet today on this episode, but you ain't let me. You put and
Don't get activated, Asia. You
Alex,
got it.
I told you, Alex.
Don't get activated. You prayed before the show. It's all right.
I told you, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
just
the devil. Sit there and bait you and tells me, I told you. See, it's like the devil.
Did I not call it?
Yeah. I don't know. I just know what was said. But I think when people get activated, and I didn't even say no names, there's some causation. But I'm gonna clip it and I'll put it back in the middle of this episode so you can see. Ask Abe for the $20 super chat. Real bravado, great point. Scam. Even the doctors and lawyers. I've won a case against a law degree. I guess she's saying she lost a case. She won a case against somebody with a degree, not having one. One more. Omega Green with the $20 super chat. Yeah, it's a waste of time. One issue is that we don't want to truly separate ourselves from the destructive, lazy, and stupid people among us. A lot of them are our mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, cousins, and friends. God damn.
Valid point. It's a very valid point.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. But you know, when we were having that, and Chief wasn't on here, Gunny wasn't on here. East, were you up here that day? And Q, were you? Q was.
Yeah, I was. You
I
called me
think-
out for not doing enough with the kids and the computer stuff and all that shit.
In the comedian shit.
In the comedian shit. And I said I wasn't. I said you kids. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I remember. I mean, Q, I know you remember because it's very impactful. But for some reason, Asia has some fucking secret society that she created that we have no. I mean, I ain't going. Why? You know what? Whatever. Real Bravado Network with a $5 super chat. Notice Love said, "I'm trying to act feminine." so it's all an act asking. Oh my god, yo, are you serious, bro? Notice Love said, "I'm trying to act feminine." So it's all an act asking for a friend.
So let me address this. It's not an act as putting on a play. It's behavior. So action and act are derivative of one another. So when I say I'm trying to act, I'm trying to put into action being feminine. That's what I'm talking about when I say that.
Yo, she knew this was gonna happen here. I said.
But I'm right though. Act and action are the same exact thing. I'm not acting because it's a play or a production. It is putting it into action. I know my words.
Love.
And again, yes, you know what? I'm about to put myself back on mute. I let y'all dusties sit there and get me activated, and I shouldn't have, because like I said, it's like the devil. See, I told you, you sat there and baited me, and I took the bait. I did like the devil, and y'all sitting there laughing and cracking jokes. It's all good. I said, and I'm going to put myself on mute.
Chief, don't do that.
Did I not say this, Alex? I said she just prayed.
I Carlo, you're activated.
I said
Y'all better
she
stop.
just prayed and she gonna let one of these niggas trigger her. And I said, Gunny about to get her. She said, nope, it's gonna be him. She called the shit, not me.
Yeah, that was crazy. and I'm literally referencing something about how much more we got to do to effectuate real change because there's so many people. You know what I mean? Good God Almighty, man.
Yeah, I got a point right quick.
Oh, Mr. White.
It's serious though, and it's a little off subject, but we could jump back on, man. When we be talking about this feminine energy, ladies, as you can see, it's not something you could just turn off and on. Yeah, I say when we get around a man who's mad, you can't just turn it. Love was trying her best, right? So if you don't work on that, you don't operate in that now, you're not gonna be able to switch it on when you want to, yo. This is just evidence to show that. So
great point, brother. Great point.
30 seconds back to regular scheduled programming.
I'm hot.
Does anybody want to address Mr. White?
Love is activated. I'm sorry, love.
She trying so hard not to talk.
She sipped her tea and everything.
You can't turn it off, man. Nah. You can't turn it off, bro. Good
shit.
What you think about the question, Gunny?
Man, I forgot the question, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can answer directly, but I forgot the question, man.
Just read it. It's on the screen.
Hold on. Are Black people wasting time expecting the community? Yes, I think we're wasting time. Yeah, I think that we're wasting time because I think that in 2023 in the Black community there's no balance, and we've always been divided. As far as we can go back, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, there was always conflicting sides. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. There was always conflicting sides, but I think there was balance there, and I think that we all looked at the greater outcome. We all looked at a specific goal that we all wanted to achieve. One road was supposed to get there, the other road was supposed to get there. But now I think that we're leaning too far in one direction, and I just think that it's overpowering things where the people that are on the opposite side, and now I'm talking about left and right, they don't really have a voice because they're probably too afraid to speak out. So ultimately, I think that as Black folks, we are wasting time. Yes.
Chief?
I think I agree with most of the panel. Everybody agreed. I'm with Gunny on this one. I do feel it's a waste of time. I don't got much on this topic.
Damn. Anybody got faith? Nobody?
Love is hot. She's 38 hot.
All right, let me see something real quick.
Love, what's wrong with love?
I'm trying to stay.
Love.
Stop, because I ain't making it no better.
I'm asking her.
Leave
What's
her alone,
wrong?
Gunny, because you don't want her to get on you. Leave her alone.
She's gonna call me thunder thighs or bagel thighs or whatever.
Leave her
I'm
alone.
just asking her. She looks upset. All right, I'll leave her alone. All right.
Oh, you found it here?
All right, let's see what it says. I'm open to being wrong.
Black
Yeah,
woman.
the people that belong to you.
Yeah.
On Asia.
So for my communities, I navigate different communities, but for my communities, I show. Why are you laughing?
I'm trying to think. We ain't talking about everybody else that you like.
No. I'm talking about as a Black woman.
Yeah, the people that belong to you.
Yeah, and as a Black businesswoman, yes,
Okay.
I show up and two different things. As a Black woman, I talk to Black women about being their authentic selves, being the best version of themselves, and I model that. I talk to them about that because a lot of times Black women, especially that may have come along the same road that I have, journey I have, there's a lot of toxicity within them. And so I talk to them about being free of that toxicity and being the best version of yourself. The other part of it is the business world and businesswomen, Black businesswomen, because you want to have and provide this service and or product. How do you do that? How do you navigate the business world? How do you navigate entrepreneurial world? How do you navigate the government space and selling your products, selling your services? So I talk because I've been through it, and I give of myself and my knowledge to them and lend my services and my wealth of knowledge to them.
Okay. Alex.
Oh, I did mine already. Remember?
Oh, you did yours, yeah. I gotta find the part where I tell them what I actually felt. But nobody was trying to misquote you. The key is there's no structure behind it. That's what I was saying. You're just talking to people, right? Whoever you run into, you can help. That won't effectuate change that we need. And that was my reply to that.
Yo, does she have on the same scarf, shirt, and background and other people?
Get him, Asia, because I told his ass leave you alone. Get him.
Like, this is,
You should not be instigating.
It's not about her instigating. It's like he keeps on picking, and I'm about.
That's the first thing I noticed. She have the same scarf, shirt, background, and thing in the background.
Same background, ma'am. I'm in my house. What are you talking about, sis? Of course. And so what if I had the same scarf on? What is your freaking point? I'm about to go.
That's just what I know. Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Anymore.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Enough. I'm out. Like, I'm, for real. Like, cut it out, because I'm trying not to go in on you. I'm trying not to go in on you. I went enough in on you yesterday. I tried not to call you a B yesterday. I'm small victories. Now leave me the hell alone right now.
So much for that feminine energy.
Yo, man. Yo, she gotta stop, man. She gotta stop.
That's the second or third time she done skipped on us, huh? I know I was a part of one of them.
Listen, nothing was even that deep, though. Like, come on, man. What were y'all even laughing about? The fact
she was triggered.
She knows she's gonna get hot on a debate show, and if anybody that jumps in all the time, they're gonna be bound to be in some smoke. That's regular shit. That's regular. And then the thing about it is, Gunny, the shit that was being said about Gunny yesterday, he ain't get up here on no corny shit. He ain't get up here trying to throw jabs back. But he shared a $10 super chat, and then everybody wanted to give him the business.
What Gunny did do was wear that muscle shirt so y'all can stop calling him bagel thighs.
wait, it's a lot of niggas with broad shoulders and bagel thighs. Fuck is you talking about?
Gunny said, but Gunny said, he said he not fat, but it's crazy how they ran with what Unlikely was saying because they like what Unlikely was saying, right? And Gunny just been doing what he ain't even been saying shit. But you know what got her? Alex ass. Joking with Chief.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
She could take arguing with me. That ain't shit. She do that every day. But y'all two talking about she was on her hero hoops. What is that nigga name? He-Man shit. She done transformed. She got a big ass cat instead of a small ass cat in that house.
I just called it. I said her energy says one of y'all gonna trigger her, and she was like, "Hamp's gonna do it." You damn sure did.
Nah, it wasn't me. Ask Abe with the $50 super chat. Shout out to Ask Abe, man. That's wild love. Do you men know / have consistently feminine acting women? No cap, please.
So I'd say it's on the adverse of what. So Love has portrayed more of the, I don't know however we want to word it. I'm just gonna say less feminine acting. She has portrayed more of that than she has the feminine side. I think that a lot of women I know are on the adverse of it. They display more of the feminine side than when they gotta, go on the opposite they do. Is that fair?
that your last, like, maybe it cut out just for me. Say like the last couple sentences.
I'm just saying. So the women I know, I think, are the opposite of what Love portrays, but because she tends to portray, I don't know how to word it, but the less feminine side of her, right? And then she want to tap into the feminine side. More women are just naturally given the feminine side and then tap into the more aggressive side. I guess that's the word we could use.
Okay. So yeah, I guess the point of the question was like, do our women act feminine all the time?
More so than not. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, I think when people see argument, well, let me ask. When she gets into it, where she starts bringing out the less feminine side, how does it happen? Is she triggered, or is she doing the triggering, or a part of the gun? See, because I noticed we joking and we saying, "Oh, Hamp, we're gonna do it," but what did I do?
I don't really remember the situation, but
you triggered her, him.
But what makes
I know, but I'm saying to you, how, like what? Because
so let's say a trigger for her is being cut off while speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you interjected while she was speaking and basically told her to be quiet so that you could make your point, that could be a trigger for her. To you, it could be, well, I was fair enough to allow you to make your points, so now I am speaking.
But in that
piggybacking too from Gunny, so it's now like she's getting doubled up, jumped on.
Oh, yeah. I think that's bullshit. I think in a particular situation, I was talking about the example that we, about the episode back then, and then she jumped in, and then we had a back and forth.
Right. So then, like, if she jumped in, that's when you're supposed to stop talking, because the trigger now is you jumping back in, because you're interjecting.
What?
That's how triggers work. I'm just saying.
Okay, I see. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but the thing too is, like, if you're away, that's how you are, right? Is period. She's a woman who typically operates in a masculine way, so it's gonna come out. Yeah, you can work on it, but when you are emotional, that's when you have the least amount of control. So like who you naturally are going to come out. To the super chat, the only woman that I'm outside of like my female family members, and that's just because of like just how we are. My wife is like the only feminine woman that I'm around on a regular basis. And then outside of that, it's mostly women that I work with. So the majority of them they're either in leadership roles or they have something to prove, like, you know what I'm saying? So there is a clear like difference. And Isha will tell you, like, the way my wife is, she just, oh, hey, like, she's just so lovey-dovey, like, all the time. Even when she's triggered, she go sit down. She's gonna sit with herself. Does that mean she won't go off here and there? Possibly. I don't think she's ever even raised her voice at me. I don't think, but if it's in you, it's in you. So whether she's hurt, whether she's sad, whether somebody's disrespecting you, whether it's mad, it's gonna be one way. And that goes back to why when men are pushing on y'all women to start addressing y'all femininity, y'all need to start that now. And I hate that, if I'm around a masculine man, it will automatically happen. That's the dumbest thing ever. Y'all need to work on doing that now in your relationships and when you at work, relationships with your parents, like trying to tap into that divine feminine is something that you have to work at to become. So I just encourage y'all ladies to work on that. Don't wait until you find a man who you want to be with. That's going to push him away.
What, I guess my question is, just so that I'm understanding, what made her response not feminine? Because don't in society believe that women, we will go back and forth. So was that not feminine? Is that now masculine?
Absolutely. You're being argumentative now. You're being argumentative. You're disrupting people. You're about to insult people, right? You pretty much threatened, and even though she ain't threatened Gunny personally, hey, you about to make me, like, you know what I'm saying? What's all of that for? A simple, like, okay. And then really when you let's look at what Gunny or Hamp or what they were saying. They weren't raising their voice at her. They weren't calling her out her name. They weren't doing none of those things.
I'm just trying to understand. Thank you, Adrian. Or Mr. White.
Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Call it what it is. Love is the most triggered on the show.
We're not finna have a bash love fest.
I was just getting ready to write that in the chat. Don't sit up here and try to bash her. She's not on here.
We're not gonna do that.
No. Well, so yeah, I think you're not right. You're not wrong, but we're having a conversation, right? And so if somebody leaves, they don't just stifle the conversation at that point either.
Yeah, but she's not here to defend herself either, and I think that's unfair. Maybe
What I'm saying is nobody forced her to leave, though.
I understand that, but then like Chief said at the beginning of the show, we don't need to be sharing our business outside. So if that's something that we need to talk about as a panelist, then we'll talk about it.
No, this is public conduct.
No, I just don't think we need to be bashing her. I don't like that.
Well, it ain't bashing to talk about a situation that occurred.
I think, Isha, let me know if I'm wrong. I think it's just a matter of just changing the subject because she's not here anymore. We don't need to have a continued 15, 20-minute conversation. She's not here. If she wants to hop back on, that's one thing. But folks said their piece. Now the people in the chat are getting on it. It's over.
Because I can't fade that. Because yesterday they got to talk all the shit they wanted about Gunny. And now he did a little bit of picking, and you're gonna tell him I'm not gonna talk shit about you how I did yesterday? No, that ain't it. Because if you want to talk shit to the man, he up here now. That don't make no sense to me. So Mr. Britt with the $20 super chat. Can't bring Asia back. No, she left. She just bounced.
And my question is too, like, what is it that we're saying that's negative? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, we family, right? Like, we cool too, but I don't see what we're saying that's negative. How is that any different from me flip-flopping or with Q calling me out or somebody else getting called out? Like, how is that any different?
It's a response.
What you say, Q?
So y'all know, some of y'all know I'm in life coaching, right? So my life coach says event plus response equals outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the response that makes the difference.
Whose response?
Her response?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody's response for that matter. So like, you go back and forth, and we respond, and like the next week we chuckling, or by the end of the show we laughing about it. That makes the difference. Event plus response equals outcome.
Well, you have an event, then it's a thought. They need to throw the thought because you have a thought in the way you view the response, and then you have the outcome.
Well, the event is that there were things happening, some comments were made. You know, she was being picked on a bit, and her response to that is why she's not here right now. To Aisha and Asia's point, to defend herself, even that was her response, was to just tap out.
Right, but the issue is how she perceived it. Right. So what you're saying, I'm with, but the one piece we want to look at is how you view the event. And that's what she needs to work on. And not only her, I'm only using her for this example, but that's anybody. So if something happens, then you have a way you perceive what happens. You can control the way you perceive something. Right. So like if me and Hemp having a conversation, let's say Hemp go off on me. How do I perceive that? Am I going to perceive him being disrespectful or am I going to perceive, okay, he's doing it out of love? Based on my perception of the event, that's going to dictate how I then respond after that. And so that's the piece where we got to hold each other accountable at too, and continue to work on with ourselves. How are we perceiving events? Right. So for instance, like Q, we don't get into it as much, but anything you ever told me, I could have perceived it as, yo, she hating, she don't like me, whatever, right? But because of the way I perceive you as, no, Q real. So whatever she is telling me is never coming from a bad place. It's never to try to make it look bad. She's literally just giving her points. And regardless of what she says, she got love for me. Because of that lens that I'm using, that's going to dictate how I respond. So when people are using a faulty lens of looking at situations, we got to check them on that.
Let me read a couple of these real quick. Shanae Fulton with the $5 super chat. Black people come together to make a change so love is not triggered and returns. What? Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Call it what it is. Love is the most trigger on the show. Mike Brown with the $2 super chat. Love is still good for this show, though. Yeah, no doubt.
I honestly think that she got off because she didn't want to display. She was getting upset, and she didn't want to show that behavior on the podcast.
Isha, do you think she was disrespected?
She might have felt disrespected.
I'm asking you, do you think she was disrespected by whatever took place?
I'm going to say no because we do this, right? And we always say for Wednesday night, you have to have tough skin. So at the end of the day, it's all love. So how can I feel disrespected if y'all my people?
Yeah, we just talking shit. And no, let me hit this real quick. Omega Green with the $2 super chat panel. What is femininity? Can you define it? Real Bravado with the $10 super chat. Oh no, here comes the y'all bashing. Black women can talk ish, that's fair. Black men say something bad shitty. Remember, she the one that said she was acting feminine, just saying. And I think that's the overarching sentiment. Now, I want to make sure we chop this up because I think it's important. So let me share this, and then we'll do some final thoughts. Yeah, see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Asia said what she do for these women. Is it formal? Maybe. Right? But a lot of it may be touch and go. So can we galvanize the troops and bring them here and put them on the podcast? Then she could do that shit with them, and then she could reach. We get what 1,000 views a video, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. Now I could keep going. I mean, I don't know what Alex gonna do about the AIDS rate because that whatever she doing ain't fucking working.
That's not all I do. Thank you very much.
Nigga. But it was that simple, right? And I just said, do it on a larger scale, right? Point blank, period. And I told Alex she ain't doing her shit ain't working because the AIDS rate is skyrocketing. So whatever Alex doing, we need to get another plan. But I literally was just like, hey, yeah, you probably do it with the people you know, but do it on a larger scale and make it a thing. And she said, what? You right. That's what I was saying, that we ain't doing enough to change the whole community. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I used the word lie, because I'm like, this was a back and forth, like acknowledgement. You know what I mean? So, damn. Do y'all want to answer the question, what is femininity?
That's what I was asking, and then Adrian was, answering it.
You guys should answer it because you guys are always throwing it around.
Well, so feminine is like
feminine.
It's like it's nurturing.
Mr. White. Isha, love is the one that said she was staying in her. Why did you just? We didn't say nothing about femininity tonight.
Previous shows, you guys love feminine women who are more agreeable, women who don't argue back, women who are not doing all of this,
Okay.
Isha, would you agree that what you just labeled are acts of femininity?
I mean, yeah, but I think feminine women still get upset. It's how they handle their anger.
But the way you just let that out with it implied that you disagree with those sentiments in regards to femininity.
No, I was just giving examples of what you guys have already said to us. It's femininity.
Are those applicable to who you are?
Am I agreeable? I think I am. Do I do this? Yes, the hell I do.
Do you define yourself as a feminine woman?
I believe that I am. I believe that I've created protective barriers, so I act out sometimes, but I'm really soft.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, AJ's she's not super like duper rowdy. We having these conversations, but but when you, I don't know what is femininity. I don't fucking know, man. Who knows? apparently everybody think they feminine. Look at Alex yawning on camera like this shit is. Come on.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Know your breath smell like halftime. You've been talking for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point is that if somebody acts out, I don't know if they should be labeled. Obviously, this is a show, so people are gonna get labeled as such, but it is a debate show. The reason why she's so good at it because she's not afraid to debate, you know. But you can't hop in and out of the woe is me shit, and that's what Real Bravado said. Women can be like, oh, it's too far, but you was calling niggas all types of shit. And if you tell somebody you're not trying to call them a bitch, you call them a bitch.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like, so you know.
But yo, you know what else is crazy though? We talk about like how men respond, right? Look at how what Mike do. Oh, let's throw the little love, fun, super chat. Let me throw her 20 just because. I'm like, huh?
He on his Q shit. You know, every time, you know, Q gets soft when you start talking to the ladies and shit. Damn, man. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. This has been a great show, a bunch of different dynamic topics, and I think that this will give people a little bit more variety for sure for their day in the next couple of weeks, dropping the clips and all that. The podcast will be out on Monday morning at 5 a.m. for your ride to work, and you know, feel free to subscribe to that for sure on Apple, and continue to keep rocking with us, man. I don't really fuck with Jerry Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Isha. Final thought.
Shout out to Gunny and the muscle shirt.
Right. You said I'd be damned.
You go. Never mind, Alex. I got jokes, but I'm gonna let it go.
Alex.
Sorry for yawning, y'all. I'm gonna get it together next week. But in regards to time, it's precious. You can't get it back. Be wise with the decisions that you make.
Word. Gunny.
Hey, shout out to the whole panel, specifically Mr. White and Aisha. I hope I said the name right. You guys dropped some super gems tonight, all night. So shout out to you guys.
Word. Q.
Word. Shout out to Gunny's hat. You feel me? I definitely think this was an interesting show. Just to go back to it, I do think that men are wasting their time with certain things in relationship because what y'all want or say y'all want really doesn't seem to exist. I think women who are pursuing men or want to be pursued by men should very much understand you will be one of many. You may be the main chick, but you will be one of many. And I think that doesn't get discussed enough and it doesn't get accepted enough by hetero women. Niggas gonna cheat on you, okay? It doesn't mean that they don't love you.
Word. Chief.
Shout out to the panel. I had a great time tonight, man. I love the way like you ask a question, Hamp, or you post a question, and that shit just goes in 44 different directions. You know what I mean? And it's real dope conversation. But I want to say to those in committed relationships, invest in maybe some monthly, quarterly check-ins. I was watching something one day, and the question was, "How can I love you better?" And I think it's a good conversation starter for people who are serious about keeping their partners happy.
Word. Mr. White.
Yo, men, continue to stay in these marriages, man. But let's just switch up how we staying, how we showing up, making sure we're exploring everything that we need to explore. But yeah, we don't leave. So let's not start that trend. Also, to ladies, work on tapping into your feminine energy, man. Continue to go to therapy like y'all doing. Y'all are fire. I definitely see the growth. Continue to learn and develop, you know, so that you can continue to work on being nurturing and loving and soft and agreeable and compassionate. We rooting for y'all.
Time is super valuable. You can't get it back. It's funny, the product that my company sells is a service. So every day we lose, that's product off the shelf. It ain't like bottles of water, you know. Time has a short shelf life. So I think we just want to be considerate of our own time and considerate of others. And I think that morals and values need to change for sure. And I think it starts with men. Promiscuity, we can't champion it. I think monogamy is good unless you can handle really treating and doing what you got to do for more than one woman. I think people get lost in that, thinking it's just about sex, but it's really about duty and responsibility. And so I think it's better together. We all know that the construct of marriage is where most people gain their wealth. You protect your wealth. You can build wealth better with another person. So, but yeah, protect your time for sure, man. Damn, this was dope. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.